gentlemen, where the Sooners have won the toss. Darius Johnson to the right of your screen, and P.J. Mills on the left-hand side, back deep to receive for the Sooners as they elect to take the ball, winning the toss. And Mitch Berger, who's done such a fine job of kicking, now a senior out of Delta, British Columbia, will hit it for the Buffaloes. Colorado comes into the game 3-2 overall, but 1-0 in the conference. And the Sooners, of course, undefeated at 5-0. And the weather couldn't be better. High 70s, very little wind today, and what wind there is a little at Berger's back. And he uses it to put it deep in the end zone, where Darius Johnson elects wisely not to run it out. So Oklahoma, with Cale Gundy at quarterback for the 4th straight year, goes 1st and 10 from the 20. There are Gundy's numbers on the year so far. And with Watson Brown, the new offensive coordinator, the Sooners doing a lot of different things. James Allen, the super freshman at tailback, Chandler at fullback. And the Sooners have 2 pretty good wideouts in their own right, but they like to go to the tight end more than anybody else. 86 Ricky Brady. Terry Collier, 33. It's the start, and Gundy right out of the shotgun gives an inside handoff to Collier, who bangs it out to the 24. Ted Johnson, the leading tackler for the Buffaloes, makes the stop. Here are the big guys up front with Cabell, Roberson, Langston, Overton, and Stantz. And the Sooners have, as you can see, some heft in that offensive line. It'll be 2nd down and 6, just outside the 24. Allen in the slot to the left. Collier the lone setback. And Gundy's first pass. He'll be sacked. And big number 56, the main man, Ron Woolfolk, almost untouched. And the loss moves it back to the 18, where it'll be 3rd and long.
Woolfolk right now, he's coming from the right side on the blitz in the 34, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and he just beats Collier. He just pushes them out of the way. That's the kind of effort there. The coaches can say, hey, you got to do a little bit better job of blocking than that, because the rush really wasn't that devastating. He just was a poor block up front.
Chandler overall has probably done a better job than Collier blocking. Now the I formation with James Allen, the tailback. Play action. Gundy, and wide open and complete is Albert Hall for the first down. Chris Hudson, the free safety, had the coverage, but a big 3rd down conversion for the Sooners.
You know, last week Oklahoma came out and their first 5 plays were passes. Right now they're back into the rhythm. On the outside, Hall just runs a post corner. He's going to go into the post, but at the last minute he breaks it outside. The safety can't get over in time. That's Hudson.
Gundy looking to the sideline, shrugging his shoulders, but it's 1st and 10 at their own 43. Allen in motion. Gundy on the option tries to cut it back. Colorado is waiting for him, however. Sam Rogers makes the hit that finishes him off with Kordell, Bruner, and Holland, the front 3 for the Buffaloes. In the 3-4, the 4 linebackers are Woolfolk, Rogers, Russell, and Johnson, the leading tackler. In the secondary, a little bit of a change as Dennis Collier is in there, and Dwayne Davis has been moved to strong safety from corner. And Greg Lindsey, who had been starting, is out.
Expect them to test Simmons on that side over there. Anytime you get a new corner in the game, they're going to want to check you out, see if you're up to snuff.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Oklahoma at their own 45. On a delay, Collier. He gets a couple before he runs into Dwayne Davis. Number 21. Looked pretty good on run support that time.
Well, I'll tell you, the nose guard, Bruner, that time got blown out, and that's one thing that this offensive line does very well. Talked to Charlie North the other day. He said he's really happy with Langston and Roberson there on the inside, along with Carollo. They do a good job of moving people out of the inside. And this 34 with the 3 down linemen, if the nose guard cannot hold his own in that middle, it's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough day all laid on for the defense.
3rd and 6. from the 47. Gundy under some pressure, and he's sacked. Number 93, Darius Holland, at 6'5" and 285, drags him down.
Holland right here, the defensive end, he moves down inside for a quick pinch, and they mess up the blocking scheme. You can see Corolla right there. He wasn't sure who to take. By the time he saw him, it was too late. That hole was so wide, Steve.
You saw Charles Johnson, number 9 for Colorado, and Scott Blanton, the junior from right here in Norman, with a good kick against the wind. Johnson at the 10. And a heck of a return under the circumstances as he picks his way through a bunch of red shirts until the stop is finally made. A 49-yard punt by Scott Blanton into about a 10 or 15-mile-an-hour wind. And here is Kordell Stewart, the junior from Louisiana, and his 1993 numbers. Over 1,100, nearly 1,200 yards passing. They have got some fine, skilled people of their own on offense, does Colorado.
Our first look now at the two tight end offense we talked about.
Lamont Warren finding no room and trying to go the other way. He's going to be hauled down for a loss at the 15. John Anderson, the strong safety, coming up a little bit lame, made the stop. Lamont Warren and Charles Johnson, along with Michael Westbrook, the two leading receivers, both in yardage, one in yardage and one in receptions for Colorado. And then the two tight ends that Ron talked about. Up front, Bertie Irwin Stoltenberg, one of the leaders, Hammond and West. Second down and 12. Lamont Warren again, and this time he has a hole. First down and big yardage at midfield. Warren being chased and ridden out of bounds by Anderson near the Sooner 40-yard line. A 44-yard run by Lamont Warren.
Here's the danger of the two tight ends. Watch what happens to Correa, the nose guard right here. They double down on him. Hammond right there gets a good block on him, gets him on his knees. Now he's just got open field to run with. Schenkel, he runs away from Schenkel. Schenkel's got to break down, make a better tackle. This is the kind of thing that Tom Hayes does not want to give up as the defense coordinator for Oklahoma. Those are big plays. They can't have those early with Colorado.
Lamont Warren again. This time hauled down by David Campbell, number 59, the defensive end. And a short gain. It's Ricky Wren, Joe Correa, and David Campbell, the front three for the Sooners. Beavers, DeQuazy, Freeman getting a start, and Coates, the leader at the linebacking position, with Johnson, Anderson, Bush, and Schenkel. They've played together for a while now, the Sooner secondary. Gain of 2, second and 8. Kordell Stewart's first pass is well wide of Michael Westbrook and incomplete. The coverage by William Schenkel.
See, in this offense, they still have, well, actually 5 potential wide receivers in the game. 2 wides, 2 tights, and a back. So even though the run is important, you can't forget that they can pass the ball effectively. And more importantly, because of the 2 tight end situation, they won't be able to bring Beavers off that other side as a blitzer as effectively as they have in the past.
Stewart on 3rd and 8. Complete to Charles Johnson at the 24. CJ, as they call him, going up high to bring it down. Stopped by Darius Johnson, 42. A gain of 14 and a first down.
Charles Johnson slowly becoming, or rapidly becoming, I should say, the big play man for Colorado. A definite first-round pick. I talked to a lot of the scouts in the NFL. They can't wait for this guy to come out. They hope he comes out early.
He'll probably have his choice at the end of the season. Lamont Warren and another good hole. Good tackle by Schenkel, however, down to the 16. Let's check in with the studio and John Saunders. John.
Steve, in the Big Ten, Michigan State and Ohio State, the Buckeyes opening drive once again. Bobby Hoying to Joey Galloway, 22 yards, 6 plays, 67 yards. 6 games this year. The Buckeyes have scored on their opening drive in each game. Steve.
Thank you, John. That's just one of big rivalry games going on all around the country. And of course, Penn State, Michigan meeting for the first time earlier today. turned out to be just about as good as most people thought. Second down. Warren again, who's been doing the work, gets to the outside. Runs out of room. Johnson was trying to make a block on Charles Johnson. And Darius did a good job of hanging in there to force Warren out of bounds.
But you know, that's what they like about this receiver core. And there's Warren right there with the rushing. They do such a good job of blocking on the perimeters that, hey, it's not just about catching the football. They get after people like they're supposed to. And once again, this is the problem with the two tight ends. They can run the ball on any side of the formation they want to. So now Oklahoma can't overload one side and stuff the run. They got to really play honest all the way around.
Lamont Warren gets a rest. Number 19, Rashawn Salam, a sophomore out of San Diego, in a tailback. First down and goal. Salam's first carry, and he bangs down to about the 3, maybe the 2. Colorado moving the ball. The tackle by Mario Freeman, 44. It'll be second and goal from about the 2.5.
Colorado very good inside the red area. When they get inside the 20, that's called the red area, or for them offensively, the green area. A lot of times because it means money time, but they are very good at getting that ball in the end zone and scoring.
Now number 33, James Hill, in as they go back to the traditional I formation. And Hill is at fullback in front of Rashawn Salam. Salam, touchdown, Colorado. A very impressive drive by the Buffaloes, Ron, as they take their first possession right down the field with Lamont Warren getting 62 yards rushing, doing most of the work.
Well, you know, the front three guys here, Stoltenberg, Irwin, and Hammond, they're sophomores, but look at the way they get into people. Look at Coates. Coates is in the end zone, and now he's on his back. That's what you call excellent drive blocking.
Mitch Berger on to attempt the extra point. Duke Tobin, the holder, and they fake it. And they're not going to make it. Tobin trying to run it in. Cut down and maybe had the wind knocked out of him as he went flat on his back. And as you see, is still down. So Colorado surprisingly going for 2 early.
Well, you figure they moved down the ball as effectively as they did, punching it in on Oklahoma. And you know right now what's going through Gary Gibbs' mind. Oh, here we go again.
Well, timeout on the field. 7:48 to go in the first quarter, and Colorado has taken a 6-0 lead.
I wonder what the warranty covers. How does Prism's 24-hour roadside assistance work anyway? Can I get anti-lock brakes? Are the dual airbags really standard?
Before you buy a new car, you have a lot of questions. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know all the answers about the new Geo Prism.
How about if I just take this one?
More Americans trust Napa for everything they need to keep their vehicles running and to help them save, too. Get this Napa power battery for just $29.99 after rebate. An Evercraft 30-piece socket set is just $14.99. And a 3-pack of STP gas treatment is a low $1.99. So run into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
And now for something different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way. All right. Put that snap back in your life and always get
Something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Hitachi. Oh, wait, that's my phone.
I'll connect you now.
Bonjour. Here are the drawings.
Looks good from here.
Hello.
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.
Take care.
Au revoir.
Hitachi makes digital communication systems and 20,000 other amazing products. Hitachi.
The Los Angeles Raiders, trying to climb up the AFC West, head to the mountains for a mile-high showdown with the Denver Broncos on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Duke Tobin, a senior from Arlington Heights, Illinois, and a backup quarterback and holder for the Buffaloes of Colorado, just now being helped up. Apparently, he was knocked unconscious, and they were concerned that he might have a head or neck injury, and they did bring a stretcher out, but as yet, as you see, they have not utilized it, and the team physician is going to check him out thoroughly before they do move him. Let's go back and look at the fake extra point kick and attempt for a 2-point conversion. He's shaking.
See right here, Oklahoma, they're in a safe look. They're expecting it all the way. Beavers, the linebacker at the bottom of the screen, 56, he reads it. Now, Beavers is a load. Watch the hit he puts on him and watch the way the rest of his body comes over the top of his head. Oh. Well, you never like to see those things, Steve. I tell you, you can bet he's in a lot of pain right now.
I'm not too sure whether he knows whether he's in Norman, Boulder, or anywhere else, but he doesn't look very stable at this point. It's a good thing, however, that he is up and under his own power, because they obviously don't believe that he has a serious head or neck injury, or they would not allow him to get up and walk around. So Duke Tobin will go into the locker room and be more closely examined to make sure he's all right. Again, P.J. Mills and Darius Johnson back for the Sooners. Berger will kick it off. Colorado, when they score first since 1989, they are tough, 24-1. And they just went 83 yards in 9 plays and lead it 6-0. And again, Berger clear through the end zone this time. Another deep kick. Oklahoma will have it at the 20 for their second possession. CFA College Football on ABC Sports, brought to you today by Chevrolet, who invite you to see the all-new Chevy cars for 1994. By Magnavox, the ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. The light beer with a great imported taste, Amstel Light, right. And Allied Signals Fram filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later. Collier and Allen, the running backs, behind Gundy on first down from the 20. Play action. Gundy flips it to James Allen, who can't hold on at the 25, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
The big rap on Colorado defensively. They got the players. They got the schemes. They've just made some dumb mistakes. But now look at Oklahoma's response to when their opponents score. Now that's what you call answering the bell.
All but 3 times, Oklahoma has come back and answered a score. Allen, only about 2 yards is all, as he tries it up the middle.
Been so much said now about Oklahoma's balanced attack. The man you'd expect him to go to here pretty soon is their leading receiver. No, it's not Albert Hall. It's not Warren. It's Ricky Brady. And 2 plays ago, they had him flexed out, trying to get a linebacker out of the interior area there, so possibly helping them run the football a little more. But sooner or later, they will go to Brady.
And there is Ricky, a senior, just up the road in Oklahoma City. 3rd and 8. Oklahoma at their own 22. Lots of time, but nobody open. Now Gundy flips it. Collier, and Collier has a first down outside the 40 at the 42. Run out of bounds by 7. Dalton Simmons, the safety.
Gundy right now doing a good job on the ad-libs. You got to believe Gibbs likes that. Here's a guy who had a hip injury last week. As quiet as it was kept, he wasn't even going to play against Texas.
And what a game he had running the football.
Yeah, he rushes for 3 touchdowns of all things.
Well, Gundy has really come into his own this year. And, of course, Gary Gibbs and Gundy give a lot of credit to offensive coordinator Watson Brown, who has brought the Sooners more balanced attack and, I think, run a scheme that utilizes their weapons more completely. Oklahoma 1st and 10. Gundy dancing away, but he won't go very far. He'll lose about a yard. Back to the 41. Finally run down by Brian Dyett.
One thing Watson Brown said they were going to try to do, offensive coordinator for Oklahoma, is if they count more than 7 in the box, they're going to pass the football. Look at Brady. He's so open, he doesn't know what to do. They're taught to come back to the football, and the receivers, they do that good, but in that situation, his route, he really couldn't come back to the football because he's supposed to run the route toward the middle of the field where nobody is.
Brady again is the leading receiver for the Sooners. It is 2nd and 11. Quick pass out to Albert Hall in the flat. And Hall cannot make the man miss. Dennis Collier with a good open field tackle. And a short gain out to about the 46 for a gain of 5.
Oklahoma in a triple formation, 2 wideouts and the running back on the same side, the left side, and they split Brady to the far side, trying to remove some linebackers, get some air to run in and to pass in, and that time it was good for him, but not quite as much as they would like to have.
Syracuse just getting by Pittsburgh, and it has become a pretty traditional game in the Northeast. 3rd down and a long 5 for Oklahoma. Tipped, but caught by James Allen, and he's very close to a first down. Chris Hudson, number 47, this free safety, got him right away, but Allen is very close to the marker. It will depend on the spot. And it's close enough that John Laurie, the referee, has asked for timeout, and they may bring the chains on to measure. And they will. They needed to get near the Colorado 47. They are just past the Colorado 48. And it is just barely in front of the stick for a first down.
That's about as close as you can get it.
Man. Good effort by James Allen.
Steve, you notice the way that Gundy is staying in the pocket. This is one thing that Watson Brown said he wanted to make sure he did with Gundy this year. In the past, Gundy's been erratic. He's scrambled around. He's got the ability to do it. So a lot of guys that do, they do that. But by staying in the pocket and maybe taking an extra sack a game or 2 sacks, he can see more downfield of what he's supposed to see.
They've got Brady out in the slot to the right again. Play action on first down. Going long. Jawan Penny incomplete, and Collier, 22, was right there with perfect position. Dennis Collier, a senior from San Bernardino, California, on the fastest of the Sooner receivers, Jawan Penny.
Collier right now in bump and run. What he's doing is he's bailing. He really has a deep third, but he's making it look like man. Right now does a good job of staying in the receiver's hip pocket, goes up and gets the football at the last minute. Good job. Actually, should have intercepted the ball. But he's going to get to the sidelines. The coach will say, hey, intercept that ball. Don't just knock it away. Intercept it. That's what they always said to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good play, though. Pretty good coverage. 2nd and 10. Allen. And not much running room, as Colorado doing a good job of jamming it up. Led by 93 Darius Holland and 94 Kerry Hicks, the nose guard. Hey, next Saturday here on ABC Sports, another day of exciting regional action in the Big Ten. It'll be the Fighting Illini battling the Wolverines of Michigan. In the West, Fresno State takes on BYU in the WAC, and other key games from the South and the Pac-10. Be sure to check for the game in your area on your ABC station and with your cable company to see what else might be available pay-per-view. 3rd down and about 7. Oklahoma at the Colorado 44. Gundy setting up a screen, and it's dropped by Terry Collier.
They had the perfect play on for that defensive formation. They brought the linebacker, Wolfort, from the left side, the defensive left side, and that's the perfect play because there's nobody in that part of the field, nobody in what they call the flat area. They just got to hold on to the football. Those are the kind of little mistakes that can get Oklahoma out of this game early.
Scott Blanton to kick. To Chris Hudson, number 47, back deep around the 10 for the Buffs. And Blanton trying to hang it high, and Hudson with a fair catch just inside the 15. We have 3:48 to go in the first quarter, a 30-yard punt, and Colorado leading 6-0. We'll have the ball when we come back.
Finally, there's a TV that proves technology can make our lives easier. A Magnavox TV with a precise color picture, smart windows which preview other channels, and the unique smart sound feature which ensures your volume will stay at normal levels no matter what comes on. Magnavox is so smart I didn't even have to show up for this commercial. How'd I do?
Great. You were great. The innovative TVs from Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
Hey, I don't worry about what's happening on Rodeo Drive. worry about taking care of my kids. And I want a car I like, even when I'm through paying for it. I want a car to make my life simpler. Isn't that what a car is for, anyway?
Tony and Diane get regular insurance checkups, just like they get regular medical checkups. I'm State Farm Agent Carlos Bermudez. I have been their State Farm agent 7 years. A family insurance checkup helps them make sure all their coverages are up to date. It's also a good time to explore options, like how their life insurance plan can be adapted to help with their daughter's college education. I think the family insurance checkup is something everybody can feel good about.
State Farm is there.
Colorado going back on offense, and one of the question marks this season was the offensive line, because after 5 games last season, Colorado's offensive line was allowing an average of 4 sacks a game. That was 20 at that point. Well, after 5 games this year, the Buffs' offensive line has been allowing only 1 sack per game. Instead of 4 per game, it's only 5 total on the year so far. So they're doing a much better job protecting Kordell Stewart.
And it's impressive considering how much they pass the football.
Yep. Now they break that balanced formation and send 2 wideouts to the left. Rashawn Salam is the lone setback. 1st and 10 from the 15, and Salam has it. Good blocking on the corner. And Salam with a 1st down and then some outside the 30.
Anytime you get a tight end in this type of an offense going in motion, that's kind of thing to happen. Look at the balance here they have. Rashawn Salam, he's the man I think is a sleeper in this whole offense. He's the guy that can really get it done for you. You know, you don't hear much about him, but boy, he's got the numbers.
He just ripped off 19 yards. And the officials are trying to get the Colorado players to move back on the sideline. Here at Owen Field, there's not a whole lot of room out of bounds. And it's very easy in the excitement for players to get out on the field because they only have a few yards available behind them in the bench area. So the officials are trying to move the Buffalo players back. Now they're ready to go. 1st down at their 34. Salam again, a little mix-up on the handoff, but didn't make a whole lot of difference. David Campbell was standing in the hole, and he was not going to let Salam go by. Beavers also there, along with Jones and DeQuazy.
You know, we talk a lot about what both teams have to do to be successful. Colorado, for them, they're going to have to establish a running game. They've done that so far. They're sitting here 69-1 rushing over Oklahoma. Oklahoma's got 1-yard rushing. No middle errors on the defense. Don't give up the big play. They've been guilty of that in the past, and avoid the turnovers.
2nd and 8. Complete to Charles Johnson, who's wide open. And Johnson may go all the way. He needs a block from Westbrook. But his speed is a Colorado touchdown.
Is there any doubt, Steve, why he's a big play guy and why they go to him when they need it?
A 64-yard touchdown pass.
He's just going to run a little hook here. Nothing big. Oklahoma's in 3-deep coverage. The problem is the tackling afterwards. Anderson overruns the play. Bush misses the tackle. Now he's off and running. You can't let a guy who runs a 4-3 go off like this. You want to talk about a great story, Steve.
That's CJ. Well, a fumbled snap, but a great job getting it down by Vance Joseph, who is doing the holding, and now that Duke Tobin is injured, and Mitch Berger bangs it through. We'll tell you about CJ and the life he has had and what a great job he's done in college when we come back. Colorado up 13-0.
Hold on. I don't know. Just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight.
Overnight. Sometimes overnight is overkill.
So kick the habit with priority mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Good morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Wouldn't it be great if you were stranded on a desert island with a beautiful woman named Betty? Cool. And while scouting the island, you were suddenly surrounded. You! But then, they noticed your shoes. You! Great one! Booga, booga! So they gave you gifts. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Specially lined for really smooth. Bottle bit of taste and can! Tweeting time! Wouldn't that be great?
Charles Johnson, who just scored on that long touchdown pass, graduated in 3 years. Check out how many total student body percentages have graduated in 3 years, let alone football players. And Ron, when you consider his background, it's even more amazing.
Well, you know, here's a kid who came from a very broken home situation. His mother was a recovering drug addict, lived in 11 different homes while he went to high school. You know, a lot of times went to bed without dinner, all that kind of stuff. I tell you, you look at him now and he's nothing but a class player. And that stat right there that we just saw proves that.
Graduated in 3 years in college.
Really makes you thankful for some of the things you got.
Darius Johnson and P.J. Mills again back for the Sooners. Colorado went on an impressive drive and then a big 64-yard bomb for 2 scores to lead it 13-0 as Berger will kick off yet again. 2 minutes 54 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And another boomer from Berger. That's good for 3 points. Let's check in again with John Saunders.
See, Tennessee and Alabama. Watch Keith Schuler. Off his back foot. Still has enough arm to get this one to Craig Faulkner, 25 yards. His 19th touchdown of the season. That's a new Tennessee record. They lead Alabama 7-3. Steve.
Thank you, John. I'll tell you what, scoring a touchdown against Alabama is being off to a good start with that defense.
Yeah, I'd say so. Might be the same here.
Gerald Moore, number 7. Another fine freshman running back in for Oklahoma who takes the play-action face. Gundy complete to Corey Warren, who somehow holds on at the 40. He was blasted by Sam Rogers.
Great play. This is a double cross play. Warren's going to come across the motion, then go across the field. Brady's doing the same thing as tight end. What this does, it makes the strong safety on the other side come down and bite on the tight end, and that play's wide open. Good hit, too. Way to hold on to the football.
But we had a penalty on the play. It was against the Buffaloes, however. Oklahoma declining the penalty. Or no, it's after the play, and it's going to be tacked on to the 21-yard gain. A major 15-yard infraction moves the ball into Colorado territory. And let's listen to John Laurie. First down at the Colorado 45. So a 21-yard gain and a 15-yard penalty on top of it. A personal foul against Colorado after the play. And Gundy took a shot after he let it go, and that was the call, roughing the quarterback. On the option, Gundy cuts it up to about the 40, down to the 39 in the grasp of linebacker Matt Russell, number 16, a redshirt freshman out of Fairview Heights, Illinois. Now, what does Oklahoma have to do, Ron?
Well, they're going to have to maintain a balanced offensive attack that they've been doing now for the last couple of weeks, and that includes basically keeping that ball to Brady. He's the guy who's really been the surprise for them in the receiving part. Stop the big play. No big plays like they just had. They can't have that. And, of course, the turnover ratio is always important.
Second down. Gerald Moore runs into a pile and is going to lose yardage. Great penetration by Shannon Clavell, number 92, who got support from Matt Russell. Clavell at 6'4" and 270.
You know, sometimes the enemy isn't always the other team. Right there, he runs right into Chandler. No place to go.
Clavell pushed Chandler right back into the backfield when Chandler was putting the hit on him. So it's going to be 3rd and 9. The ball at the Colorado 43. Gundy has time, and he wants deep, and what a play. Number 7, Dalton Simmons, slapping it away at the last second, and it'll be 4th down for Oklahoma.
They had what they wanted. Watch number 16. You can't see him. He's coming to the screen. Ted Johnson, or Russell, he gets right in the way at the last minute, and Simmons is able to come down and block the ball, but it was actually Russell that got in the throwing lane, so Gundy couldn't get a clear shot on it.
Blanton to punt. Chris Hudson deep. And Hudson trying to fake out the Sooners, but it goes into the end zone, and Colorado will have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Leading 13-0. A 43-yard punt in a jam-packed Memorial Stadium here at Owen Field. Steve Zabriskie and Ron Pitts with you as Colorado and Oklahoma go at it in the Big 8. And we will, as always, keep you up to date on everything else that's happening in college football and has happened today. Florida and Auburn, a pretty good tussle. Michigan State, Ohio State, and Washington leading UCLA early. Nebraska with a 10-point lead in the 3rd over Kansas State, the 2 other unbeatens in the Big 8. Play action, Kordell Stewart flipping it out and completing it to Charles Johnson, who has a 1st down, slipping Darius Johnson's tackle and falling forward for a couple of extra yards.
Colorado came with a fake counter that time, and if you're a linebacker who's peeking into the backfield, that will get you every time. Johnson on the deep comeback. Here, you know, they're averaging 412, per game. That's 4th in the NCAA. Hey, 5.3 yards a rush along with that. You can win like that, Steve.
Well, they proved they can move the ball against about anybody. They moved the ball against Miami's defense, and they're doing it here against a pretty good Sooner defense as well. Lamont Warren skipping away to pick up a couple of more yards. As it gets outside the 35 to about the 37, William Schenkel finally brought him down.
See, this offense really makes you sit on your heels because of the 2 tight ends. You can't really declare a hard force man, a hard rusher from the outside. And you know the rusher, he disrupts things in the backfield. So now they're sitting back waiting on what's going to happen.
Second down, 6. Lamont Warren trying to get to the outside. Darius Johnson pulling off of a block. Then he was being held, I believe, by the other Johnson.
You're going to get a hold on Johnson.
Johnson holding Johnson.
Watch Johnson at the top here. He's going to get a little bit of jersey on Darius. Just enough. Not as much as I've seen, though. Tell you what, that wasn't too bad. I've had guys hold me a lot worse than that. Grab my face mask, rip my jersey.
Well, as you can tell, we're not quite picking up John Lurie's microphone as yet, but the ball is moved back just inside the Colorado 33. Bill McCartney in his 12th year. 77 wins. A win today would make him the all-time winningest Colorado coach with 78 victories. Just 37 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Second down, about 12. Lamont Warren trying to get away in the backfield, but Mike Coates won't let him. Mike Coates, a senior out of Oklahoma City, the leader of that unit.
Yeah, he's like the quarterback back there on the defense. You know, he's the guy they all rally around. And the problem is, I'm surprised they're running that much to that side. You got Coates on that side, and you got Beavers on that side. I think you'd want to go backside to Quasi, who's a little bit lighter, around 215 as a outside linebacker.
And you can see the time is going to run out before they can get another playoff. It'll be a big 3rd down for Colorado as we come back. The end of the first quarter, however, shows the Buffaloes leading 13-0.
For
this guy, any deodorant will do. But these guys need Speed Stick. Antiperspirant that gives 110%, even if you don't. 24-hour protection against wetness. And now Speed Stick deodorant has a powerful new formula to fight odor. Speed Stick. For movers and shakers, the number one, the only one.
Americans have always had a love affair with their cars.
Do you love? Who do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
And when it comes to plugs and filters, we guarantee to keep that spark going for a long, long time.
Do you love? Yeah, who do you love?
My life isn't about throwing money around. It's about hanging on to it. It's not about owning a $40,000 car. It's about owning a good car. It's not how much something costs that matters to me. It's how well it works. Look, don't tell me what I want. Show me you've got what I need.
Ben and Connie Studebaker look at things differently since they became parents. I'm Roger Cruel. I'm their State Farm agent. Having a family brought a lot of changes in their lives, so we thought it was a good idea to sit down and have a family insurance checkup. We started by adding to their life insurance protection. Then we went over all their family insurance to help make sure their coverage was up to date. After all, you never know what could happen.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jerry Van Dyke and Coach Hayden Fry discuss academics and football.
College coaches promote achievement on and off the playing field. Education and college football are teammates. And the experience you gain in addition to academics helps you prepare for the future.
There is more to college than just going to the library, and college football is part of that experience. Whether you're a student, alum, or a friend of the university, you're going to enjoy the game.
Enjoy college football more than a game.
You'll notice that the artificial surface here has a two-tone look to it. See that in the middle? It's lighter along the crown of the field, and along the sidelines it's darker green. Well, the reason for that is that they actually watered the artificial surface earlier today. And, Ron, this wasn't to make it grow, I don't think.
Well, we heard from an old OU football player as of last year, that is, that Gibbs does that purposely because once that seeps into the turf and later on when the sun comes out and hits it, it evaporates and it makes it a lot hotter down in that field and a lot more humid.
Adding a little humidity to those Colorado players that play at a higher altitude and may not be used to it. Their gamesmanship. Kordell Stewart on third down is going to be stopped well short. It was 3rd and 13, and Cedric Jones, number 57, brought Stewart down, and Colorado will punt it away.
Steve, this is an area where Colorado is at their best as far as allowing punt return yardage. Berger, one of the tops in the NCAA in punting, but they allow minus yards on the return.
Yeah, they have an outstanding net punting. Berger's averaging 41 yards a kick. Their net, as you look at the receiver, Darius Johnson, 39 yards. So they're only really getting about, or giving up about 2 yards per punt return.
How's that for field position?
Berger will be kicking into that 10 to 15-mile-an-hour range now. And not a good kick off the side of his foot. Coming to the near sideline. And it's going to be a very short punt. They'll mark it at the 44 of Oklahoma.
I think we jinxed him.
Only a 22-yarder.
That's what happens. It's a nice high drop on the ball. He just makes a bad kick. At first, maybe thought he might have slipped there, but no. As you can see, he's not too happy about that.
Now, Mitch has done a fine job. Now a senior. But Oklahoma with excellent field position at their own 44. Gerald Moore trying to cut back and running hard, and he can run hard at 5'10" and 230. Ron Woolfolk knocks him down, and here's what happened statistically in the first quarter.
Well, there's nothing really that impressive in this, but one thing is rushing. Look at the rushing yards for Colorado and look at the rushing yards for Oklahoma. Well, we talked about being balanced, but, you know, come on, that's ridiculous. You got to do something. And that makes it even worse because OU's got 9:54 in possession.
Colorado scoring on a long drive and then getting a big 64-yard touchdown pass from Stewart to Johnson to lead 13-0. Gundy trying to run the option again, cutting it back, and maybe has a first down. He should, as he gets it to the Colorado 46. Ted Johnson on the stop. Well, it's time once again for our Coors Light Fan Picks College Football Poll. All you have to do is call 800-932-3000 to vote. This week, Florida State, of course, remains on top in this week's call. So call 800-932-3000 to vote for your top 10 in the Coors Light poll. 1st and 10 Sooners near the 45 of Colorado. Chandler in at fullback. Gundy optioning the other way. A yard is all to the 45. And he's hammered there by Woolfolk. And again, they're running to his side, which, as you were talking about with Oklahoma's defense and Beavers, is a little unusual.
Well, and also, remember we asked Coach Gibbs the other day about what would happen if Gundy went down. And you see he's doing all this running. He didn't even want to talk about it.
The backup quarterback is Terrence Brown, a redshirt freshman. And Gundy will go from the shotgun on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Ricky Brady. Contact made by Dwayne Davis, but no flag, and the Sooner fans don't like it.
No, that's just a good football play right there. Dwayne Davis comes down from the safety position, moved back there this game, and he's on a collision course right for the ball. That was perfect football play. Brady could have helped himself by coming back to the football a little bit more, but no, that's just a good football play right there.
Davis, a senior out of Gulfport, Mississippi. And Gundy now is 5 of 10 passing for 79 yards. 12 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the second quarter. Colorado leading Oklahoma 13-0, and the Sooners 3rd and 10. Gundy over the middle again, incomplete, intended for P.J. Mills and almost intercepted. Let's again check in with John Saunders.
Steve, Virginia is unbeaten, but it's #1 Florida State this week. Charlie Ward to Tamarick Vanover. And watch the speed after he catches the football. 86 yards in the toss. 7-0 Seminoles. Steve.
Thank you, sir. Those Seminoles have got more than speed also. They got about everything else.
Told you they're an NFL team.
Blanton's punt. And Hudson looking to fake the fair catch. Oklahoma kicks it around, and it goes into the end zone for the touchback. They had a chance to down it at the 1 and couldn't hold on. Good effort, though, by Warren to get down there. 12:03 to go in the first half. We'll be back.
If you want rich, powerful, theater-like sound with no extra speakers or wires, get the RCA home theater with SRS. When there's one in the neighborhood, you'll know it.
You know, if life were perfect, women would let guys drink milk straight from the carton.
Yeah, and guys would ask before taking food off your plate.
Women wouldn't answer a question with a question.
Why not?
If things were perfect, you'd like watching sports on TV.
Yeah, and you'd let me hold the remote control.
Wow. At least there's Amstel Light.
It's only 95 calories.
But it still has a real imported flavor. I mean, it tastes great.
Amstel Light is better than Kraft.
It'd be perfect if you didn't always have the last word.
No, it wouldn't.
We were sitting around one day at the seed lab. We were local. Honda called me up. They were looking for somebody who had an established business to assemble some speakers. This is where it started.
And now we're 40,000 square feet.
We send over 6,000 speakers a day to Honda.
Where they're installed in the 1994 Accord.
In fact, it's really fun to look at the back of a Honda and say, hey, there's our speakers.
Honda, homegrown in Marysville, Ohio.
The Fighting Illini battle Big Ten rival Michigan. Fresno State tackles BYU, or key games in the South and Pac-10. All next Saturday on ABC Sports.
Sooner fans in abundance, and they're not very happy so far as Colorado has jumped out to a 13-0 lead with just over 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the big play offense of Colorado has been making big plays today, more so than usual on a percentage basis. Rashawn Salaam, the lone setback, 1st and 10 from the 20. Salaam, no hole. Mike Coates in there along with Cedric Jones. Later, these are night games tonight around the country. Notre Dame and BYU, this is local time. Stanford and Arizona will get it on the Pac-10, and Oregon State USC will do as well. A lot of night action. And of course, most of those games in the West. Second down, Salaam trying to turn the corner. Brent DeQuazy, number 47, got run over, but got enough of Salaam to get him down.
Good block on Coates, the linebacker that time. He was scraping, running laterally down the field, trying to get to the play, and he just got knocked off his feet. Wondering if he's come back and healthy from that hamstring pull in the Texas A&M game.
Both teams a little bit banged up.
And watch how late Oklahoma's getting out of the huddle. It's almost like they're waiting for Colorado to line up and then call the play.
3rd down and 2. Salaam again getting around the corner, has the 1st down. William Shankle can't bring him down. But finally, he gets some help from his friends, including Joe Correa, 99, and Malin Wesley, the safety, number 5. But it's going to be a 1st down for Colorado.
They talk about how young Colorado is up front. But you look at their 2 tackles, Birdie and West, 6'6", 270 for Birdie. West, 6'8", 285. Now, you don't think those people will get into your helmet sacks every now and then?
Well, Joe Correa for Oklahoma is 6'4" and 280. So it's a good thing that he's as big as he is, because he's usually getting double teamed. Kordell Stewart under pressure from the blitz, gets it away, and Westbrook makes the reception at the 41. Darius Johnson hit him immediately, but Michael Westbrook holds on for a good gain on 1st down, and Darius Johnson is either frustrated or shaken up.
Looks like he hurt his wrist.
Stewart got pressure that time from Malin Wesley, the safety, number 5, and just did get it away.
Oklahoma is not huddling up, and they're checking the sidelines with defense coordinator Tom Hayes to check the play before Colorado comes out, and I think they're getting out a little late because of it.
2nd down, 2 after the gain of 8. Salaam with a good hole and a 1st down out to midfield. Paul Oates, number 55, on the tackle. And a reminder that coming up this Monday night here on ABC Sports, the Los Angeles Raiders are back in the hunt for the AFC West. And now they'll have that mile-high meeting with quarterback John Elway and the division rival Denver Broncos. My man Wade Phillips leading them out there now. They meet Monday night live at 8 Central and 7 Mountain right here on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Salaam has carried 8 times for Colorado and picked up 51 yards. Lamont Warren over 60 yards rushing. And did Oklahoma jump off sides, or were they drawn? Looked like David Campbell, 59, made contact for the Sooner defense. He did.
All good quarterbacks will vary their snap count. That's just a mental error that drives Gibbs crazy. People can't do that. You got to stay on side. You got to key in to those type of things. You're right over the ball. The defensive line, they're closer to the football than anybody. That's just not being keyed in and concentrating on the game.
Now it's 1st and 5 at the Oklahoma 44. Salaam hammered as he tried to cut back by Mario Freeman, number 44, and 55 Paul Oates. And both those guys, a couple of good-looking sophomores. Freeman out of Austin, Texas, and Oates out of Gainesville, Texas. As the Sooners, as always, recruit heavily south of the Red River.
Freeman stepped in at Texas A&M game for Tremaine Green, who had an abdominal problem. Played well, stays a little light, but he makes up for it in his aggressiveness and his just overall athletic ability.
Gain of 1. It's 2nd and 4. Salam again. Breaks one tackle as Correa couldn't haul him down, and Malin Wesley hammers him to the turf at about the 41, and Salam very slow in getting up.
Looks like he takes a pretty good shot here. See, Wesley got him right on the back of the back. You know, there's no pads back there, and that's smarts every now and then when you get that.
Rashaan Salam from a football family. His father played in the NFL. And he's still hurt. We have 8:07 remaining in the second quarter. Colorado leading 13-0. And Salam stopped on a fine play by Wesley, shaken up in the process, short of a first down. Listen to the contact as you hear Wesley and Salam butt heads on this play. An all too familiar sound, huh, Ronnie?
It kind of sounds like bone on bone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
High impact plastic coming together with great force. Lamont Warren back in at tailback, number 12. And Warren has it and has a hole. Schenkel gets him around the ankle as he gets to the 35.
Oklahoma's problems right now stem from the nose guard position. Correa 99, he's just getting moved out of there. They've got an extra blocker basically with the tight ends on the outside, so now inside they can double and even triple team more. And if you can get him moved out in that 34, you only got 3 down linemen. The backers can't get up field fast enough. There's 4 of them, yeah, but they can't get into the holes fast enough.
And it's working because now Colorado has 133 yards rushing in a quarter and a half. Oklahoma has managed only 11. First down. Option. Lamont Warren looking to pass. He slips and hangs it up high. Contact in the end zone. A flag. Touchdown is signaled as Charles Johnson made the catch. But we'll see because a flag went down on an interference call. And we'll find out who the infraction is against. Oranges coming onto the field.
They're going to give him that touchdown, Steve.
It's defensive interference against Oklahoma. It's a Colorado touchdown as Lamont Warren hits Charles Johnson on a 34-yard option pass.
Well, they had him set up perfectly. You run the football. We just saw the stats for Colorado running, and now they come back and they throw it. They've got everybody. He slips. Look at that. That's unbelievable. Talk about athletic ability. Now, the problem, Darius Johnson, he overruns the throw. He's got to try to come back. He grabs Jersey to come back, but the ref's standing right there on the pylon. He's not going to let him get away with that one.
And down in that corner, as I mentioned before, is where the oranges are being thrown on the field by the Sooner fans, who are, most of them are saving him for an Oklahoma victory. They're throwing them because they don't like the call right now.
Well, what I want to know, Steve, is how you can throw a football as a running back 40 yards, almost 50 yards, leaning back on your both feet. I mean, that's incredible.
It was a great play by Lamont Warren, and maybe that wet turf had a little something to do with it as well.
I think it worked against Gibbs.
Well, they're going to have to get the teams over out of the way and ask some of the OU students to come out and clean up the oranges before we can have the extra point attempt. Boy, what a day for Charles Johnson so far. He's caught 4 balls for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's had a 34-yarder and a 64-yarder.
But you know, it's deja vu too. Last year, 5 of 6 of the longest passes for Colorado, 5 of them were to him. You can see Johnson right here. He's number 42. He overran the play. Look at Johnson on his knees, though. Darius Johnson coming back, trying to make a play, can't do it. Charles Johnson was on his knees when he caught that football.
Well, they lined up for the extra point again while you were watching the replay. More oranges came on the field, and a flag has been thrown. And unsportsmanlike conduct is going to be charged to Oklahoma, which is really committed by their fans. The officials, in an effort to get play back underway, assessing a penalty because the Sooner fans in the end zone won't back off. They'll assess that penalty on the ensuing kickoff as Mitch Berger will attempt the extra point. Vance Joseph the holder, and it's good. We have 7:15 to go in the first half. Berger's been busy, and so has the Buffalo offense. 20-0 Colorado over unbeaten Oklahoma.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
I built the entire city of Seattle on the roof of my car. See? Here's the Space Needle.
Now, my car has wings, feathers, and a beak.
A little glue, a few seeds, just add water, and voila!
It's not what you add on to our car that makes it more fun. It's what you take off. The Del Sol from Honda.
If you care about this big, beautiful world, show me.
Don't give me another toxic antifreeze.
Give me something different.
Don't just tell me how it protects to 70 below.
And guards against rust?
Any antifreeze can do that. Tell me it's safer for my dog, my family, the kids.
Tell me nothing protects better.
And it's biodegradable.
That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to hear.
New Sierra. It's not just antifreeze, it's safety freeze.
Is it possible to throw a ball 45 yards in the limbo position? Let's ask Lamont Warren. He does it. That's incredible.
Maybe we should call this
it off.
Maybe we should call this the Caribbean play.
The Caribbean play, yeah. And then Darius Johnson can't do anything really. The ball's underthrown. He tries to come back and make a play. But Charles Johnson, we can't say enough about him. Concentrates on the football and makes a play.
Charles Johnson with big plays, but Colorado has had big drives. Their 3 touchdowns have been on 83, 85, and now 80-yard drives. Again, Darius Johnson and P.J. Mills, the deep receivers. Mitch Berger again getting ready to kick off. This Colorado offense, averaging over 500 yards a game, is doing this against an OU defense that came into this game 8th in the nation in scoring defense, only allowing 12 points a game, and they've already given up 20 in a quarter and a half.
As you know, we talked about in the beginning the keys to success for Oklahoma, where and stopping the big plays.
Well, the penalty being assessed and the kickoff means that Berger's going to be able to hit it from the Oklahoma 35. Right here might be a great time for an onside kick.
I do not believe I've ever seen any team kick off this far downfield. High school, Pop Warner, pro, Canadian, whatever you want to call it.
2 penalties.
Now it looks like they're going for an onside kick too. Look at the bottom of the field here with Colorado. Look at all the players down there.
I'll tell you, I would.
Why not?
I mean, if he just pooches it, it's going to go out of the
end. And they got hands people in there too. They're best hands people. They're going for it.
Onside kick. And it's dropped, but then I think recovered by Albert Hall, who was one of the Oklahoma hands people up close.
You know, that's why they work on that, meaning Oklahoma, before the games on Thursdays and Fridays, they get their hands people out there to recover an onside kick, because you never know when you're going to need it.
We have an update on the injury to Rashaan Salam, the running back who was shaken up. Apparently the collision with Wesley caused a piece of his helmet to break off, and it cut his eye a little bit. He's all right. They're going to, of course, precautionarily check him out thoroughly. But, of course, we're also, and as was the case earlier, happy to know it wasn't a head or a neck injury. Gundy on first down has all day, but now has to run it. And scampers out of bounds near the 30. Gundy with a scrambling first down, run out of bounds by 22 Dennis Collier.
That's just a coverage sack right there. Colorado doing an excellent job in the secondary. There's no place for him to throw it. But you know, that is the best thing he can do. The worst two things he can do, well, take a sack and throw an interception. You notice that time, too, Oklahoma spread out. They put Brady in the slot, put Allen in the slot on the other side. They were basically in a 4 wide out look. And look at this, the shotgun, Steve.
On first down after the run of 15 by Gundy, and the inside handoff will net nothing to James Allen. Allen barely got back to the line of scrimmage, if that.
He got exactly nothing.
Matt Russell, number 16, right there. Hey, how about this? Here's a golfer's dream for you. 18 legendary holes from 18 of the greatest golf courses in America. Join John Daly, Tom Kite, Fuzzy Zeller, and Davis Love III for an unprecedented round of golf. 18 holes on 18 different courses in the Chrysler American Grade 18. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 Central and 2 Mountain right here on ABC. Like we've been on that show. Play action. Gundy dumps it over the middle of James Allen. Allen slipping as he gets near the first down. He tried to put the move on Ted Johnson, 46, and lost his footing on the turf. He is about a half a yard or maybe a full yard as they mark it now, short of the first down. But what an exciting runner this guy is.
You know, this offense right now, Watson Brown, the offensive coordinator of Oklahoma, kind of reminded me of the old 49ers when Walsh was there. Very controlled. They're using everything they got. I mean, we have seen so far every formation they have in their playbook. We've seen slot formations. We've seen doubles, people spread out, shotgun.
Maybe that turf is still a little too wet. 3rd down and 1, and Oklahoma trying to draw Colorado offsides. Did they? It looked like Jeff Bruner, the nose guard, number 39, made contact. Yep. It worked. And on 3rd and 1, Oklahoma will pick up a first down on the penalty.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, Steve, using James out of the backfield now, just a little circle route. Get the linebackers to drop off. Hey, take what the offense or the defense is giving you.
Well, they want to get James Allen in the open field somehow with his great running ability. Certainly one of the highest recruited running backs last year in the nation. Right here in Oklahoma. Gundy over the middle, completing it to Ricky Brady, the tight end, at midfield before he's driven back by 21 Dwayne Davis.
Every single coach on the Oklahoma staff is impressed and can't say enough about Ricky Brady. Colorado's just in his zone. He's just going to hook up and find a place to get open.
And did you see him fake the block before he released?
That kind of stuff doesn't look like much, but you know, it moves you down the field. Very effective. And, hey, don't forget about Warren and Hall on the outside now.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Option, and Allen will go back the other way. First down, still going. Finally bumped out of bounds by Chris Hudson at the 26 of Colorado. Well, there's a little different wrinkle.
You know, last night when I asked Watson Brown about this play, he really didn't want to talk about it. He said, oh, well, it's just a little turnaround reverse pitch option. I said, so what's that mean? He says, well, it works. And yeah, it does work. Look how they got all the white shirts on the left side. And look at Brady taking up 2 blockers right there. Yeah, that's why they're so high on Brady. He doesn't only just do a good job of passing or catching the football. He does a great job of blocking, too.
And James Allen made the most of it. A freshman from Wynnewood, Oklahoma at 6'1" and 205. And you can see he's gained 391 yards already this year. He had 100 yards, just over 100 against Texas last week. He has it again, but Colorado jamming up the middle. And again, Matt Russell, a redshirt freshman, doing a fine job. He will not be moved. He has been in the hole.
I wouldn't say Oklahoma has gotten out of their game plan. I think they've had some unfortunate things happen to them. The big plays, the 2 big pass plays, one of which could have, was really iffy. It could have been defended. Just one of those things that happened. But, they're getting right back into the running portion of it.
You saw offensive coordinator Watson Brown signaling in the plays as he does every time. Second down. About 10. Gundy again lots of time, and again he flips it over the middle. And again James Allen will be about 2.5 yards short of the first down as he gets to the 20. And again Matt Russell, number 16, made the tackle for Colorado.
Notice how effective the play action is to the linebackers. Russell, 16, 46 Johnson. They've got to honor that with the kind of line that Oklahoma has, and Allen running the football. They're sending him up there in a play action form, and then they're letting him release to go out for a pass. I mean, that's double jeopardy for the linebacker. They don't know what to do.
Nearing 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Oklahoma moving, trailing 20-0. Third down along 2, and again the reverse option. And Allen this time cannot get away and is stopped short of the first down by Dwayne Davis.
Let's give some credit now to Davis and the rest of the secondary for Colorado, because Brady's out there getting a block. But you know what? When he gets around that corner, Allen gets around that corner, he still had to hesitate because those guys are fighting off those blocks. We can't ask Brady to block 2 people all day long. Somebody's got to get free.
Oh, Oklahoma calls timeout. The crowd obviously wants them to go for it. It's 4th and about 1.5 yards to go. They'll be talking it over when we come back.
Honey, we're leaving in 10 minutes.
While virtual reality isn't quite here yet, the car is. The new Accord from Honda.
I had a good run in football, but in real life, you can't run forever. So after football, I went back and got my master's in education. You see, one great running back can change a football game, but one great teacher can change dozens of lives forever.
The Hitachi Promise of Tomorrow program gives teaching scholarships to students at all 67 College Football Association members.
Coaches have inspired me. My friends have inspired me. But nobody is more inspiring to me than a great teacher.
Blue slide Lonnie on 2. Let's keep playing now. We're going to win, baby. It was a solid team victory. I'm proud of you. Win with humility.
Enjoy college football more than a game.
Did you know that the University of Oklahoma over the last 98 years has had fewer losing seasons than any other major college in the country? They've only had 8 since the year 1895. And since 1945, the Sooners have only had 2 losing seasons. And one would have to say that the Sooners are not going to have a losing season this year. They've done a fine job coming back under difficult circumstances. Now they're going to go for it on 4th and about 1.5 yards. Gundy cutting it up, has the first down. They run that play so well. They made so much yardage against Texas. It shows you what they really have confidence in going for it on 4th and about 1.5 yards. They're 3 for 3 this year on 4th down plays.
Well, Watson Brown's got everything he needs in this offense to make it work. He's got an option-type quarterback who can also throw the football. That's a plus right there. He's got a running game, and he's got people on the perimeter that can catch the football.
And they are tough when they get down here.
They get busy in the 20.
1st and 10 from the Colorado 17. Gundy from the shotgun. He runs it again, but again, number 16 is looking right in his face. Matt Russell won't let him get away. Gundy may have lost a 0.5 yard.
There becomes a sense of urgency down here for every quarterback because they've been taught since they were in Pop Warner football that, you know, do not make a mistake. Don't throw an interception. Don't fumble. don't take a sack that takes you out of field goal range. And a lot of times that limits what they do down here.
Second down, about 10.5 to go now, and this is the 11th play of this drive. And Gundy is sacked under pressure from Matt Russell, who blitzed on the play. And what a game Russell is playing.
Matt Russell on the inside stunt that time. He has not come now all game long. This is the first time they've seen that. Number 16, he's just going to come inside at the last minute, actually loop to the outside. And you see the way Overton right there blocks down on 92. There's nobody there to help him.
1:22 to go in the half. Timeout called after a loss of 9 on the sack.
Today, Michael White is having a lunch meeting in Indonesia without even leaving town.
This is your life.
Mary Kaplan is keeping things moving in her office, even though she's going nowhere fast.
This is your world.
With everything from local to long distance to cellular, it's easy to see why Sprint is the choice of millions who need to be there now.
Be there now. Life won't wait. Be there now.
Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace Stock Car. See it. Hear it. Feel it. Catch it, if you can.
You want to know the secret to choosing a motor oil? You wait till the sun goes down. You take a ride to your local garage and then get a real close look at what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, more top mechanics in America choose Valvoline over any other brand. Valvoline can help keep cars on the road for 100, 200, 300,000 miles and more. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. People who know use Valvoline.
It's a postcard kind of day in Norman. Picture perfect weather. But as far as Sooner fans are concerned, it hasn't gotten that good yet because they're down 20-0 with 1:22 to go in the half. And Oklahoma, after 1st and 10 at the 17, now finds themselves 3rd and 19 at the 26. Gundy, play action under pressure. Incomplete. It was intended for Corey Warren down around the 7-yard line. He was covered by Dalton Simmons and Dennis Collier. And a reminder, coming up very shortly at halftime, the Prudential halftime report. John Saunders with scores and highlights from all of today's action, including a look back at today's Michigan-Penn State game. First meeting ever between the Nittany Lions and the Wolverines from a sold-out and then some Happy Valley. They had a record crowd there today. Blanton on to attempt a 44-yard field goal on 4th and 19. He hits it well, and it is good. Oklahoma managed to salvage a score, at least, even though they couldn't get the touchdown. 1:11 left to go in the first half.
Tuesday.
I'm pregnant.
Jackie's got big news.
Thanks for the child.
Is Jackie going to be a single mom?
Oh, she'll never get her reputation back. Mom, this is her reputation.
It's an all-new Roseanne.
Last night I had this dream that the baby was already born, and I put it down somewhere, and then I couldn't remember where I put it.
Roseanne, followed by Coach Tuesday. Is an amnesia victim marked for murder?
You suspect it. We don't know it.
Or a Walter and Gwen missing the boat? Moon over Miami Wednesday.
Well, this is the kind of day it's been for Oklahoma. The Sooner Schooner hasn't had anything to come out and do on a score until now, and they turned that sucker over.
I guess they're just trying to turn things around.
I hope everybody is all right. The ponies stayed upright, but the wagon took a big-time spill as they might have tried to take too tight a turn, and somebody, unfortunately, is down. The traditional Sooner Schooner that runs out onto the field after an Oklahoma score took a little too tight a turn. Now, I don't think that was because the field was wet. That area where they were is very dry.
It looks dry, but who's to say? There might still be some moisture underneath there. And, you know, Schooner's got a tight turning radius, but not that tight. Wow.
Well, I'll tell you what, that went down hard.
It has been a rough day for Oklahoma so far.
Looks like someone has an injured leg. There was a young lady up front, and that is not her. That is a young man who is shaken up. But he's getting up, fortunately. You can tell you're having a bad day. You're not only getting players injured, but you're getting other members of the crew hurt as well. Yeah, there's a tear right there under one of the officials' foot. That could be from the wheel of the wagon, which, of course,
the axle dug into the turf. You know, it's not like it's much different from the rest of the field here in Norman.
Well, they're talking about replacing this turf with natural grass, the prescription type turf that they have in a number of stadiums now at the end of this season. And they could well use a change here on Owen Field. That'll be probably accelerated now with the damage that spill caused.
Well, you know, yesterday when we were down on the field, that turf is so low. It's like it's not even turf. It's just, I don't know, a bad carpet.
Well, I think
really
the slipping
carpet
we've seen, Ron, is probably due more to the fact that it's worn out than it is to the wetness.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why so many of the players are wearing tennis shoes down there. James Allen, he came out the other day. He just had on regular tennis shoes.
That is James Kidd, number 2, a redshirt freshman out of Elk Grove, California, who is back deep as the lone deep receiver for Scott Blanton's kickoff. 1 minute, 11 seconds remaining in the half. And Kidd will not get a chance as Blanton puts it through the uprights for the pseudo 3 points. And that's all Oklahoma has. It's 20-3 Colorado.
This is not a good position for Oklahoma to be in right now, obviously. Yeah, see, they're taping the field down well.
I'll tell you, that duct tape does everything, doesn't it?
It's everywhere. Don't go anywhere without it.
Well, they've got to. Somebody could turn an ankle big time on that. They're doing the best they can. 1st and 10, Colorado at their own 20. Lamont Warren, a lone setback. And Warren has it. Joe Correa got in front. Nope, it wasn't Joe Correa. It was 92 Ricky Wren who made the first contact. And Mike Coates and Mario Freeman finished him off. Ricky Wren at 6'1" and 270 coming hard from his defensive end position.
Wren coming in now for Russell Allen. Hurt a knee last week. He's in a brace right now. It's hard to say when those things will heal up. You get those ligaments stretched a little bit. Steve, I know a little bit about that, and I know you do too.
Yep. 35 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd down, about 10 and a half to go. Warren again. This time he has a hole and a 1st down out to about the 34. Larry Bush, the free safety, number 31 on the stop. A gain of 15.
See, with 2 tight ends, Colorado is 7 on 7. Okay, they can get a hat on everybody. And what's happening is just that. Coates, he read the play. He's trying to get over to it. All of a sudden, a guard comes out and takes him man to man. He can't get off the block in time. The fact that they're in the 34, they're so deep. You know, he's so far back, he can't get up there in time anyway.
As you can see, seconds ticking off, and we will not have another play before the end of the 1st half. It has been Colorado that has come in here to Norman and taken charge in this Big 8 key showdown for the Orange Bowl. It may have a big bearing on who goes to Miami, and so far Colorado has made their statement in a big way with 3 long drives of 80 or more yards, 2 big plays, one of 64 and one of 34 for touchdowns. And the Sooners of Oklahoma have had the football but unable to score except for a Scott Blanton field goal. At halftime, Colorado 20, Oklahoma 3.
CFA College Football on ABC Sports. Brought to you by American Honda, who has been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. And Coors Light, aged ice cold for that pure taste of the Rockies.
Reach for the silver bullet, the right beer now. We'll be back with halftime activities after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Fooled you. Now see if you're any better at guessing which is the real thing and which is Hitachi Ultravision. Too tough to call? That's because of Ultravision's ultra clear, ultra sharp, and ultra bright picture.
Hit it! Okay! Ultra clear! Ultra sharp! Ultra bright! Ultra vision!
Maybe she wants my autograph.
Maybe!
Yeah, Ultravision. Only from Hitachi.
"120 years ago, when people wanted to send us a letter, all they had to do was write Coors, Golden, Colorado on the envelope. That'll still work today. So if you want to drop us a line about beer or baseball or whatever, it'll get here. Honest."
The interior of the new Honda Accord creates an open environment. It's roomy and comfortable and available in fine leather. The reinforced body is insulated to be quieter than ever. When you consider everything the new Accord has to offer, it becomes an open and shut case. The new Accord EX from Honda.
Saturday.
Let's move.
The feds protect a deadly drug dealer.
You can't touch me.
But Tony's making his own rules.
Blackwood is scum. Trouble is, we need him to catch even worse scum.
Well, answer the feds.
The commish. Saturday.
Sunday, when bionic bad guys terrorize Metropolis.
We've created 5 men of inordinate human strength.
Is Lois's dad a part of the plot?
I'm Dr. Frankenstein's daughter.
To bring Superman to his knees. Lois and Clark, Sunday.
So what's fun to buy? If you have to replace your present furnace, buy it smart. Buy Amana. It could be the last time you spend your fun money on something that's not, well, fun.
Buy an Amana furnace now and make no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Amana. At Pro Jeep Eagle Chrysler Plymouth, the 94s are here, and we're dealing. Get 1.9% interest on 1994 New Yorker and LHS, stock C2088. Own a 1994 New Yorker for just $312 a month, or drive a new 1994 Plymouth Voyager with dual airbags for just $15,688. And at Pro, our used vehicles have prices and equipment clearly displayed on every vehicle. At Pro, we've got your car, and we want your business. Pro Jeep Eagle Chrysler Plymouth, 1 mile west of I-25 on 104.
Coming together for kids and against violence. Details on 9 News at 5.
Welcome back to Norman, where the pride of Oklahoma is on the field. And right now, the pride of the Oklahoma Sooners, Ron Pitts, is on the line. And in situations like this, the focus turns to the trailing team's dressing room. What's going on?
Down there, after the cussing and the helmet throwing stops, they're going to have to get down to business and correct the mistakes. You know, the big problem is for them emotionally, undefeated. They've always played bad after the Texas game against Colorado, and it's starting out just like that.
Well, they're going to have to get it together and not play as badly after the Texas game in the second half. Let's go to John Saunders for halftime. The Prudential Halftime Report is brought to you by the Prudential. When you face the most important financial decisions of your life, turn to the Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. From New York, John Saunders.
Welcome, everyone, to the Prudential Halftime Report. Those of you watching Washington, UCLA, and Colorado and Oklahoma, we'll get you back to your games in just a moment. But first, a rundown of the scores and highlights. We'll start off with the #1 team in the nation, the Florida State Seminoles. This was to be a test, but right now they lead Virginia 17-0 is the score there. Charlie Ward goes 86 yards to Tamarick Vanover, but Vanover doing most of the work, the great footwork to the end zone. 7-0 at that point. Ward has another touchdown pass in this game, and right now it's 17-0, the lead over Virginia. They've already given Clemson, North Carolina, and Miami their only losses, and Virginia's on their way to this one today. Notre Dame and Florida still to come. Meanwhile, Tennessee and Alabama, big one in the SEC at halftime. One of our games here on ABC. Heath Schuler, 25 yards to Craig Faulkner. as at this point, Tennessee had the lead 7-3. Alabama has come back. Antonio Langham has set the Bama record with his 17th interception of his career, 9-7 there. Auburn against Florida. Scott Etheridge has just kicked the field goal, and Auburn has taken the lead over Florida. We will keep you updated. Danny Werfel has 3 touchdown passes for Florida in the game. One of our games here on ABC, Ohio State leading Michigan State 21-10. Brett Powers, the backup quarterback, in 64 yards to Joey Galloway. Galloway with 3 on the day. The Ohio State Buckeyes have opened up the lead over Michigan State as they try and remain unbeaten in the Big Ten. Right now it's 21-10 the score there. Kansas State, Nebraska. Kansas State came into this game unbeaten. However, it's time to face the big boys, and Tommy Frazier goes 42 yards to Reggie Ball. Watch Ball, though. Does he step out of bounds? No, he just straddles the line and then does a nice job to get this one into touchdown territory, 31-28. Nebraska, the dominance over the state of Kansas. Take a look at this, 24 in a row over K-State and over Kansas. They simply own that state. Meanwhile, Michigan against Penn State. First time they had ever hooked up, and that's hard to believe, the fabulous careers over those schools. And right now, Michigan gets the win, 21-13. We'll have highlights of this one a little bit later on. Tyrone Wheatley, 192 yards in the ground. Lynn Swann spoke with Gary Moeller after the game.
You had some tremendous defensive stances.
That's what you need to play. You played with the Steelers. You know what defense is all about. You know, you get the ball back a lot. Our defense was outstanding today. They give too many yards, but they were outstanding.
You kept the Big Ten race tight to the Rose Bowl. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Len. Appreciate it. We got a long way to go, though.
Michigan gets the win, and it's a big one. Penn State, their first loss of the season in the conference there. Meanwhile, another one of our games, here on ABC. Colorado facing Oklahoma. 20-3. Colorado has the lead in this one at halftime. Kordell Stewart pitches it out to Lamont Warren on the option. Watch Charles Johnson in the end zone. Falls to his knees. Actually gets knocked down. Still comes up with a touchdown catch. Kordell Stewart also went 64 yards to Charles Johnson there. 20-3 is the score at halftime, one of our ABC games. Washington and UCLA, another one of our games here on ABC at halftime. 18-14 is the lead. Napoleon Kaufman, 3-yard touchdown run here. He has a couple of touchdown runs in the game. 7-0 was the lead at that point. And Kaufman, part of an 18-14 lead for Washington. Southern Miss leading Louisville 17-6. Louisville trying to avoid losing for the second consecutive weekend. We'll keep you updated there. Rutgers and Army, they seesawed in this game. Rutgers freshman Terrell Willis, 37 carries, 221 yards, and 4 touchdowns there. Colgate, a loser to Navy. Navy wins for the 4th time this year. Jim Kubiak, 23 of 33, 252 yards. Georgia beats Vanderbilt 41-3. Eric Zier with another terrific day here. 4 touchdown passes, 379 yards through the air. Duke facing Maryland, winless teams in the ACC. Maryland gets a victory, 26-18, the final there. Moving back to the Big Ten now, Illinois facing Iowa, and Illinois picks up the victory here. It is a big one, 49-3, the final. Minnesota over Northwestern. Right now in the 4th quarter, they lead by 2, 28-26. Oklahoma State, a loser to Missouri. Right now in the 4th quarter, 28-9 is the score there. Jeff Handy has a 3-yard touchdown pass. Iowa State facing Kansas, 35-20 is the final. The Jayhawks get the win. SMU over Houston right now, 21-7 is the score there, trying to make up for all the times Houston clobbered them when they were down. Tulane and TCU, 14-7 the score there. Mike Nackey has 2 touchdown passes. Pacific and Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois' LaShawn Johnson right now, 41 carries for 233 yards and a touchdown. We'll have more in just a moment. Right now, listen to the Oklahoma band. And for Prairie View and Alcorn State, 31-7, as right now a couple of touchdown passes tossed there by Steve McNair. Idaho Eastern Washington game, Doug Nussmeier, 5 touchdown passes. We'll have more in just a moment.
One of the most innovative real estate companies in America. The leader in individual life insurance. comes with every piece of the rock.
Enjoy college football, more than a game.
Start saving $300 a month when you're 23, and you could retire a millionaire. Start at 30, and you might reach 600,000. At 40, about 200,000. Which is why you need Prudential's Financial Assessment Program. A personalized computer analysis of where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help. Because nobody plans to fail. They just fail to plan. Call Prudential Insurance now.
Welcome back once again to the Prudential Halftime Report in New York. I'm John Saunders. Interesting day of college football, starting with the first ever meeting between Penn State and Michigan. This one in the Big Ten. Todd Collins, 16 yards. Great catch by Mercury Hayes. Michigan led by 4, 14-10. Joe Paterno says, first ever meeting, I'm not enjoying it. Penn State's Kajana Carter stopped by Jared Irons. They had 4 shots inside the 1, don't get it, and Michigan wins 21-13. Collins 13 of 16, 132 yards. Wisconsin and Purdue. Darrell Bevel hit by Purdue lineman James Cole long after the ball was released. Wisconsin a 14-0 lead at that point. Bevel to running back Mark Montgomery, 19 yards, 28-0. Bevel with 4 touchdown passes in the game, but he had to leave, an ankle sprain and a hip. He went to the hospital for x-rays there. Purdue a loser to Wisconsin 42-28. Wisconsin still unbeaten in the Big Ten. Texas A&M and Baylor. Leland McElroy, 9-yard touchdown run there. A&M a winner 34-17. Corey Pulley with 2 touchdown passes in that game. North Carolina and Georgia Tech in the ACC. Jason Stanisiak nailed as he releases the ball. Still plenty on it to Bucky Brooks. 21-3. They went 41-3. Stanisiak 2 touchdown passes and ran for 1 as well. Syracuse and Pittsburgh. John Ryan to Curtis Martin. This tied the game 21 apiece on the 2-point conversion. Johnny Major says we can knock off one of the powers in the Big East. Marvin Graves, though, 58 yards to Eric Chenoweth. This sets up the game-winning field goal, and Syracuse survives the scare against Pitt. 24-21 was the final. Graves threw for 2 to Marvin Harrison, 64 yards and 36 yards. Wake Forest against Clemson. A surprise here. Jim Kemp with the big day. 2-yard touchdown run as Wake takes the lead, 7-0 at this point. The Demon Deacons looking for their first win in the conference, and Kemp would set it up. 10 yards to Todd Dixon. They missed the point after. Wake had a 13-0 lead. They go on to the 20-16 upset of Clemson. Kemp, 1 rushing and 1 passing touchdown. Arkansas and Ole Miss, 19-0. Ole Miss gets the win there. Mike Lowry had 8 tackles and 1 interception in that contest. Meanwhile, in the Big East, Temple's been a team that has struggled this year on defense. They do it once again. Virginia Tech blows them out 55-7. Antonio Freeman, 8 receptions, 194 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that game. NC State was worried in this one against Marshall out of Division I AA. NC State wins it with 1:34 left, 24-17, as Marshall had no points in the second half. Central Michigan loses to Eastern Michigan in the MAC, 28-21. Joe Youngblood had 3 touchdown passes in that game. Let's check some scores now in the Ivy League, or Ivy League schools anyway. Princeton facing the Lehigh, the Engineers, and this one is 31-23 a final. Lehigh, 3 turnovers inside the Princeton 5-yard line. Dartmouth and Yale, 31-14 the final there. Pete Overly, 34 carries, 142 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, for Princeton, Keith Elias, another big day as he goes for his 2nd consecutive 1,000-yard rushing year. And Jay Fiedler, over 5,000 passing yards on his career now. A tremendous accomplishment. Meanwhile, Cornell facing Fordham, 48-6. Chad Levitt, 3 rushing touchdowns. Bill Lazor, 2 touchdown passes there. Harvard beats Holy Cross 41-25. Mike Cote, 16 receptions, 124 yards. Bill Lazor now, 5,000 total yards of offense. And Mike Girardi, 24 touchdown passes. That is a school record. Brown facing Bucknell, a winner 21-12 is the final there. Marcus Jesse with 27 carries and 170 yards in that contest. Big game in Division 1AA. Howard facing Towson State in a high-scoring affair, 44-41. Tony Vincent, 2 carries and 1 touchdown receptions. That's 3 touchdowns overall, a transfer from Purdue. Delaware over Villanova, 19-7 was the final there. Delaware's won 8 of the last 9 meetings now. Darrell Brown, 2 touchdowns rushing on the ground there. Some teams that'll play later on tonight or not playing at all this week. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish against BYU. Stanford and Arizona. Miami's next week, and West Virginia up against next week as well. All right, we'll continue with more in just a moment, but first, we'll look at some more scores from around the nation. Very important game as Boston U routs Richmond 44-14. Richmond 8 turnovers, BU 27 points off those turnovers.
A pioneer in managed health care. A major resource to help fund your child's education. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Making the right moves in a game takes quick thinking. I know I can't move fast or think fast without a clear head. If you use drugs, make the right move, the smart move. Get help. Don't use drugs.
If you or someone you know needs help or information concerning drug abuse, call this toll-free number, 1-800-662-HELP. This message provided by the NCAA.
The Prudential Halftime Report has been brought to you by The Prudential. When you face the most important financial decisions of your life, turn to The Prudential. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
We're just about done with the Prudential Halftime Report. The second half kick is coming your way in just a moment. First, a reminder what comes your way next week on ABC's College Football. 3:30 Eastern Time. Regional coverage in the Big Ten. Illinois tackles the Michigan Wolverines. And also in the WAC, quarterback Trent Dilfer and Fresno State invade BYU to take on the Cougars. Also, key showdowns in the South and Pac-10. Check your local listing for the game in your area and call your local cable outlet to find out which game's available on pay-per-view. Your second half kickoff is straight ahead.
When most manufacturers develop a new truck, they start with a model. Good idea. Here's ours. Introducing the first and only family of trucks designed from the inside out. A design that starts with you and has become the all-new Chevy S-Series. Everything else is history.
Question, if your cold pill's so good, how come your symptoms keep coming back? Because your pill doesn't work 24 hours. Introducing Efidac 24, the first cold tablet so effective, just one works 24 hours. Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours, Tavist after 12. So your symptoms keep coming back, but just one Efidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours. So your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Efidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
Brute, men are back.
Save right now. Buy 3 Goodyear tires at the regular price, get the 4th tire free. That's right. Buy any 3 of these Goodyear tires at the regular price and get the 4th free. 4 for 3 now. Hurry, savings end soon. Visa salutes American Olympic champions. In 1984, veteran Rowdy Gaines surprised everyone by leading the 100-meter freestyle from start to finish.
Come down within 10 meters of the wall. The sentimental favorite, Rowdy Gaines, is going to win a gold medal. He's got it.
As part of their continued support of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate another $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team to support future Olympic hopefuls in their quest for the gold.
About 65 miles south of the nearest stoplight, and 2 miles up in the Rocky Mountain sky, you'll find skiers' heaven. also known as Telluride. The skiing's perfect and the views are even better. And whether you're going to extremes or just going for a lesson, don't go without your Visa card. Because at Telluride Ski Resort, they'll let you take the plunge, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. Steve Zabriskie along with Ron Pitt set for the second half of play. The first half belonged to Colorado. James Kidd back deep to receive as the Buffaloes will get the ball. The Sooners received the opening kickoff. Scott Blanton will have to reset the ball on the tee as the wind has picked up a little bit. It was about 10 to 15 miles an hour at the start of the game, and now it looks to be up around 20 to 25 as the flags at the top of the stadium at least are whipping, and the wind is now coming out of the north. Yesterday it was blowing out of the south. So Blanton with that wind at his back boots another one through. Let's take a look at the stats from the first half as Colorado dominated and again showed balance on offense.
Well, rushing the football, Colorado, they're all of that today, basically 148. But the problem is in total yards. Look at that, 281. And that's right on track for Colorado.
They are averaging 512 yards of total offense per game. They moved the ball against Miami's vaunted defense, and they're moving the ball against what has been this year an excellent Sooner defense as well. Lamont Warren on first down, breaking tackles and getting nearly 10 yards before he's dragged down by strong safety John Anderson.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you can get rid of that nose guard 99 Korea and the 34 defense, you'll have success. Watch as they turn. Sullenberg turns his shoulders right there. That's just enough to get that running back through the lane and get him going.
Brian Stoltenberg, number 64, the center for Colorado, a 260-pound sophomore out of Sugar Land, Texas, near Houston. Kordell Stewart breaks out free and hits his tight end, number 86, Christian Fourier. And Fourier has another first down before Larry Bush, the free safety, can bring him down.
Yeah, Fourier is the guy that everybody in Oklahoma was worried about today. Really underrated nationally speaking as a tight end, but he's got all the skills of the good ones. Hand, speed, blocks well, and he's been troubled by that back injury.
He picked up 20 on that reception, however. Colorado at their own 48. First down. Lamont Warren getting away from John Anderson, who closed down on the corner. And finally, Brent DeQuazy, the linebacker, makes the stop.
I'm still not convinced that Oklahoma has made an adjustment to this two tight end offense. Like we said at the top of the game, we thought it would give them some problems because it makes them balanced and it makes them not overload one side of the formation.
They just ran out of that two tight end formation on that play. Lamont Warren now has carried 13 times for 102 yards on the day. Second down and 4 at the Oklahoma 46. Warren again slipping as he tried to turn the corner, and he was covered by 57 Cedric Jones. And we have an injured Sooner on the play. Mario Freeman, number 44, shaken up and grabbing his knee, and that could be death for the Sooners as they already have defensive players hurt. We asked Coach Gary Gibbs, Ron, yesterday in his office, what was the #1 concern in his mind, and that he said was, we can't afford to have any injuries.
They got to keep people healthy, and he knows that, and he was really worried about it. That's why he didn't want to talk about it. We asked him, what happens if Cale Gundy goes down? Well, you know, he said, well, let's not talk about that, Ron. We'll talk about something else.
Mario Freeman has had an outstanding year for the Sooners. He would be replaced by 45 Terrell Peters, a freshman out of Norman, right here in Norman, if in fact Freeman cannot continue.
And the bad thing about that, not that Peters isn't an excellent football player, but they're going 3 deep now into their linebacking core. And when you get that thin, and actually this is the part of the season where they need to be healthy. You know, they've got league games from here on out coming up, some tough ones too. This is not the time to be, you know, searching around in your 2 deep and 3 deep cores of your depth chart.
Boy, you never like to see that when a guy's leg is hanging limp and he's carried off the field, as is the case with Mario Freeman. Look at that. Nebraska made a tight game, not so tight late. 29 seconds to go in the game. Colorado is 3 of 4 on third down conversions. They've got one here, and Stewart makes it to Charles Johnson. It's a first down at the Oklahoma 36. Darius Johnson and Larry Bush make the stop. But a big day for CJ with another big catch.
All they're running right now is outs and in. That's a curl in. The problem is the linebacking core can't get deep enough to cover that area. They threw that right in what's called the slot area in between the hash and the numbers. And Coach almost got there, but didn't quite make it.
Gain of 11. First down near the 35. Lamont Morin finds a hole and picks up about 8. Down to the 27. John Anderson, the strong safety on the stop.
See, what happens too, Steve, is on the line, the linebackers are so used to hunkering down and playing the run that when the pass comes, they're all out of sync. Now they go back to the pass. And notice how there's a hat on everybody. Hammond right there. He's got somebody. Downfield again. Westbrook. He went man-to-man on Anderson. Everybody's got a hat on everybody, and that's what you need to give your running back seams to run the football.
Westbrook may not be catching many balls today, but he's been doing some serious blocking downfield. Warren, not much room this time, but he has enough for a first down. As he gets inside the 25, Mike Coates, number 41 on the stop.
Elliot Uzelak, the offensive coordinator for Colorado, he expected that if they hurt Oklahoma with the run, that perhaps they'd see an 8-man front. So far, we haven't seen that. The problem with the 8-man front, of course, is when you get that going, now you only got 3 people in the secondary to cover basically 4 wideouts.
Mario Freeman has a sprained knee, we're told. He could return. Lamont Warren, another big gain inside the 15 as he picks up about 7 or 8 on first down. Knocked down by William Schenkel and Colin Rosenberg, number 36, who's in at a linebacker spot for the Sooners. Rosenberg, a freshman out of Yukon, Oklahoma. So Rosenberg, a true freshman. Terrell Peters, a true freshman. Both on the field at linebacker for the Sooners now.
A running back that can't make it through those holes probably should be a running back.
Yeah, well, Lamont Morin, more than just your average running back, too. A little preliminary movement along the line of scrimmage, and flags are down, and maybe, but not quite, is Kordell Stewart down. He never did go down. So we'll see who moved first. John Laurie, a referee. Colorado indicating that it's going to be against the Sooners and give them a first down. And it is.
All he does is stutter his count. See right there with the head move? Offside. You couldn't plan 3 guys to move any better than that.
You think the Sooners had a stunt on that defensive line?
I think they were listening to the quarterback or watching the ball.
They weren't watching the ball. Gary Gibbs' frustration continues today. The first down is inside the 10 at the 9 on the penalty, first and goal. Colorado on another big march. They had drives of 83, 85, and 80 yards in the first half. They're on an 80-yard march right now. Warren picking his way for another 5 inside the 5. Terrell Peters, 45, leading the tackling.
Peters really is a nickel linebacker. He comes in when they bring in the extra defensive back. He's the only linebacker in the game just in case the run happens. But now he's been thrust into a position where he's got to learn that strong side linebacker spot. One that is not easy to learn, especially when you put another tight end into the game.
Second and goal at the 5. Warren straight ahead down to the 1. Maybe even inside the 1. Darius Johnson on the stop, number 42.
When you look at the offensive line for Colorado, they are not small by any means. They go 270, 280, 260, 280 all down the line. Oklahoma's not small up front, but they're not like that.
It is 3rd and goal inside the 1. Lamont Warren again. Did he make it? Nope. They're going to say he's down short of the goal line. John Anderson came up to support. Actually, Cedric Jones made the first hit, number 57, and then Anderson helped drop him short of the goal line, even though Lamont Warren tried to spin in.
Schenkel, the corner, he's going to take the force. Does a good job because the back has to stop. He runs over Jones, and at the last minute, he just gets enough on him below them, right there at the knees to get him on the ground, but the force was really what made that play. Anytime the running back has to stop his feet like that, you're going to be successful.
Colorado 4 of 6 going for it on 4th down. It's 4th and goal from the half-yard line. Lamont Warren, he won't make it, but a penalty flag is down.
They're going to call a hold or a clip on Oates.
Paul Oates with a fine play to fight through the block, holding against Colorado, and the Sooners have turned Colorado away at the goal line.
Oates was held.
And what a play by Paul Oates, a sophomore from Gainesville, Texas, to fight through the holding block and make the tackle on Lamont Warren.
You know what happened good here, too, is that watch the hit that Kordell takes right away. They make him commit. It's a pinch. Okay, now he can get off the block right there. That's the hold right there on 85 Embry.
Huge play for the Sooners as they'll take over at their own 5 with 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter after Colorado had marched from their own 20 all the way down to the 1/2-yard line. And maybe this is the turning point Oklahoma needs to get going. Chandler and Gerald Moore, the big tailback at 2:30 into the game. Play action, Gundy in his own end zone. He's got some room, and he's close to a first down. He has it. Out of bounds at the 17, Ted Johnson, 46, ran him out.
I think Gibbs takes a big sigh of relief when he sees Gundy get up after hits like that. Gale's going to have to learn to get down on the ground or get out of bounds sooner. I know he's an excellent runner. He's got great physical ability to run the football, but sometimes it becomes a matter of health.
He picked up 12 yards on the scramble. The ball outside the 17.
Once again, though, Steve, there's nothing downfield for Gundy. Good job of coverage by the Colorado secondary.
Yeah, a lot of his running today has been out of necessity. Play action again. Over the middle, complete to Albert Hall. First down, Oklahoma at the 37. Chris Hudson had the coverage.
Hall's a guy that hasn't been throwing a lot much lately. Kind of a sleeper, actually, on the other side of the football. But watch the hit that Gundy takes afterwards. So much for sitting in the pocket. Here he just runs a little in route. The linebacker right there, Johnson, he doesn't get over in time. He's looking at the quarterback too much instead of getting in his zone. Good pass play by Oklahoma.
Gain of 20. Hall has cut 3 for 51 yards. First down. Pitch and the reverse option again. Gerald Moore looking for a hole. Hall down at about the 42.
Boy, Steve, he got bent right back on his knee.
I think he's going to stay down as Woolfolk made the tackle. And we've also got another Sooner down as Gundy's laying down around the 20 or 30, and he's just getting up. Gerald Moore bent backwards by the tackle, and Gary Gibbs is coming out.
I wonder who, I don't want to assume anything, but I wonder who Gibbs walked out for. I tell you, when he sees Gundy down. He gets hit here, he slips, but now look at the way his foot is bent back underneath him.
That hurts to watch. Here it is again.
He's going to slip right here, but he never gets his right foot out in front to take another step.
Boy, it looks like his knee.
It could be knee, ankle.
Gerald Moore, another freshman. 5'10" and 230 out of Houston. He's up. We have 7:40 to go in the or the third quarter, rather, here in the second half of play. NCFA college football here on ABC Sports, being brought to you this afternoon by Chevrolet Trucks. The most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. And the 25th anniversary diamond for a brilliant celebration of your loving marriage. James Allen, 25, back in the game at tailback with Gerald Moore going out. Second down and 4. Gundy from the shotgun and handing off on the inside to the fullback, Dwayne Chandler. And that man, number 16, Matt Russell of Colorado, always seems to be on the bottom of a pile when it's a running play. It's going to be third down and about 3. Watson Brown signaling in the play. Look at that Tennessee-Alabama game. A 1-point game with Tennessee leading in the third quarter. Ohio State, Michigan also, or Michigan State, where they're also in the third. Gundy from the shotgun again. In and out of the hands of Corey Warren.
You know, they ran that play 5 times in practice Thursday, and they missed it every single time. It got so bad that after Warren finally caught one, everybody applauded. You know, when that happens, offensive coordinators, they do not like to run that play in the game, of course.
So Oklahoma will have to give it up on 4th down. 6:38 to go in the third, and Blanton with the wind behind him, kicking to Charles Johnson. Johnson takes it and goes out of bounds at the 14. 20-3, Colorado leading. That was the score at halftime, and 42-yard punt.
What? Oh, guard dog. Oh, very scary. Wow. Finally, the good stuff.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
4.5 years ago, my father and I were driving our Chevy truck through the Eisenhower Pass in Colorado. The road was complete ice. There was a couple that had gotten out of their car screaming, "Help, help me, oh my God, I'm getting married, we're stuck, I don't know what to do." My dad jumped out of the truck, he hooked it up to their car, and away we went up the hill pulling their car. I mean, it was just amazing. They invited us to the wedding, but I couldn't go.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The RCA Home Theater comes with a new optimum contrast screen. For blacker blacks, brilliant whites, and a picture so clear and bright, you'll feel like you're really there.
The Fighting Illini battle Big Ten rival Michigan. Fresno State tackles BYU, or key games in the South and Pac-10. All next Saturday on ABC Sports.
Colorado with that talented offense, leading 20-3, 6.5 to go in the third. And they have it 1st and 10 at their own 14. Lamont Warren picking his way for about 5 out to about the 19, maybe even the 20. Monday night here on ABC. Monday Night Football coming your way, has a big one in the AFC West. The Los Angeles Raiders and the Denver Broncos from Mile High Stadium. John Elway and company taking on their rivals. That's at 8 Central, 7 Mountain on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. Bill McCartney has not lost to Gary Gibbs since Gary Gibbs has been the head coach at Oklahoma, even though they tied last year. Lamont Warren again. He's already rushed for 135 yards today, and he picks up a couple of more. Short of the first down, however. Mike Coates, 41, leading the defensive charge and stopping him about 2 yards short of the first down.
You know, guys like Coates and Freeman, who's now back in the football game, they can't do it all on their own. They need some help from the secondary. What's happening is Colorado's wideouts, Westbrook and Johnson, are doing such a good job as far as blocking downfield that they can't get up into the line of scrimmage or the perimeters and make plays fast enough.
Well, they'll try to do it here. Third down, about a yard and a half to go, and Lamont Warren appears to be very close. From where the marker appears to be, it's at the 24.5, and it will all depend on the spot. It looks like he got it by about a foot or two. But it's close enough that John Lurie says, let's take a look at it a little bit more closely. Oklahoma stopped Colorado here in the third quarter at the 1/2 yard line on 4th down and goal, dropping them for a loss back at the 5. But then the Sooners were unable to move it down the field themselves. And now Colorado has it back. Their second possession. It is enough for a first down. Their defense, well, their offense has been great, Ron. Their defense has been last in the Big 8. Well, not today.
Well, you know, coming into this game, I thought that would have been the turning point, that stat alone right now, but it's not. They're not playing anywhere near that statistic.
Kordell Stewart hasn't thrown much, but he is 6 of 7 passing, and he's going to throw again. And he completes it to Charles Johnson, who appears to have a first down at the 35. Darius Johnson, who's been hooked up with CJ all day today, had the coverage again.
See, this action here, you can't see the quarterback, but he's faking out to the right side. It gets people out of position. He's just running a deep comeback. And look at the way he comes back to the football. He doesn't just stop and wait for the cornerback to come and make a hit on him. He comes back to the ball.
But we've got a penalty. And that's going to wipe out the reception in the first down.
Illegal receiver downfield.
We had an illegal receiver downfield for Colorado. So that penalty moves the ball just inside the 20, where it's going to be first down and about 15.
See, anytime the defense sees Kordell make any kind of motion of handing the football off to Warren, they have to honor that. Then they get in trouble when it comes to the pass.
Stewart can run well, but he doesn't have any room. Tripped up by Robert Allen, the nose guard, number 72, and let's check in with John Saunders.
Steve, Auburn can't go anywhere at the end of the season, but this is as big a win as they'll get in some time. Scott Etheridge, 41 yards, 121 left. They knocked Florida from the ranks of the undefeated. And right now, the Bowdens are looking to go 14-0 because Florida State is leading Virginia big at halftime. Back to you, Steve.
Son of Bobby, unbeaten. Auburn Tigers / War Eagles having a heck of a year, and what a win for them. Lamont Warren breaks John Anderson's tackle, and he's close to a first down near the 35 in the grasp of Cedric Jones, 57. Also over there was Paul Oates, 55. We want to remind you that at the conclusion of today's game, we will be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the Game from each team. And for the 23rd year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school in the name of those respective players. We got a few candidates already today. Man. Just about 3 minutes to go in the third. Lamont Warren having a huge day. Picked up the first down at the 35. He's got it again, but it will gain only about a yard. Malin Wesley, the safety, coming up very quickly, along with Robert Allen, 72. Well, Lamont Warren averaging over 6 yards a pop today. Look at that. Oklahoma has managed just 60 yards on the ground.
In the NFL, if you're running 3-2 or better, that's excellent. This guy's 6'1". That's like second down, first down all over again.
Well, he's out for a little bit of a breather, and into the game is James Hill, 33. The senior out of Colorado Springs. Stewart can't find anybody. Weaving his way out to about the 43, knocked down by Malin Wesley and Mario Freeman, 44. Freeman back in the game, as you mentioned earlier on, appears to be okay.
Here's what Stewart was looking at. Here's the problem. Watch Freeman, 44, the linebacker. See how he's in his drop? There's no place for him to throw the football. But look at that ability right there, boy. Nothing like not throwing an interception and taking off and running the football. And that frustrates you as a defensive player because you've done everything that you can do, and now the guy takes off on you.
Yeah, and picks up 9 yards. Third down, about 1.5 yards to go. Incomplete, intended for Michael Westbrook. But Stewart's pass well wide of the mark. Malin Wesley had the coverage on Westbrook. So it's going to be 4th down.
Oklahoma, that series, they did a real good job of being disciplined finally in their drops. Everybody got to the zones they were supposed to be at, and they didn't bite on anything. That was just disciplined football, and you see what's happened.
Darius Johnson back to receive Mitch Berger's punt. Berger will be punting into a bit of a wind. The Sooners have everybody else up on the line. They're holding him up, trying to get a return for Johnson. From the 22, Johnson nowhere to run, as a lot of white shirts are there. Good coverage by Colorado. 1:16 remaining in the third quarter. A 34-yard punt, but as usual for Colorado, not much of a return.
2 summers, 2 winters, 2 springs, 2 falls. All this, just $2.99 a month. The S-Blazer 2-year lease. Why drive an imitation when you can drive the vehicle that originated the species? Chevy S-Blazer.
There are lots of reasons to buy life insurance. Here are 2 great ones. I'm State Farm Agent Mike Foley. As the Goff family has grown, so have their life insurance needs. That's why we get together for family insurance checkups. I make sure to explain all the options, then they decide on the plan that's right for them. Ask your State Farm agent for a family insurance checkup. It's a great way to learn about life.
Laura Glenn is being dragged down by a tough cold, but she's about to break free with an effervescent rush of relief. Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Pills take time to dissolve, but Alka-Seltzer Plus is ready the moment you take it, rushing powerful medicines to soothe your aches, relieve your runny nose, free your breathing. Nothing rushes relief like Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Among the outstanding athletic facilities here at the University of Oklahoma is the Sam Bierson Gymnastics Facility. Sooner gymnastics teams have produced 10 national individual champions and 3 national team titles. The man who helped win 2 of those national titles was none other than Olympic gold medalist Bart Conner. Bart Conner, of course, went on to a career in television. Here are the total yards. Colorado on track for another 500-yard afternoon, and their defense has done an outstanding job. Oklahoma needs a drive right here, 1st and 10 at their own 24, down 20-3, and on a delay to the fullback, Chandler. Dwayne Chandler with a huge run out to the 44. Dennis Collier made the stop, and let's again check in with John Saunders.
Steve, Tennessee with the lead over Alabama and trying for more. Schuler with a pitch to James Stewart, who never really finds the handle. Alabama saves it and recovers. Tennessee up 10-9. Back to you.
Heck of a ball game right there, John. We're still in the third. We're in the third. The final minute, just about, of the third.
It's been a short third quarter. That's what happens when that ball stays on the ground a little bit.
Well, Chandler just ripped off 20 yards out to the 44. 1st down for the Sooners. Gundy with time, and he completes it. P.J. Mills with a reception for another Sooner first down. And they're calling on a few different plays, Ron, than they were calling earlier.
Kind of showcases the talent of Gundy there. He's on the hash closest to the Buffalo sideline. He makes an out throw all the way to the other side of the field. Great arm, great ball, good comeback by Mills.
And it results in an 18-yard gain, another OU first down in Colorado territory at the 38. Good protection. P.J. Mills again. He'll go all the way. Touchdown.
Well, I told you, Steve, they worked on that play in practice the other day with Warren. They couldn't hit it. But the one guy they did hit it with was Mills. All it is a quick slant. He's going to run about 7-8 yards down. Then he's going to take off hard inside. The safety, 47 Hudson, doesn't get over. And if that ball is on the money like it was that time, it's 6.
P.J., a sophomore out of Enid, Oklahoma. Blanton with the extra point. The Sooners' first touchdown comes with 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's 20-10, Colorado.
They make those little chips. They're in everything. They make things run.
Hitachi makes semiconductors and 20,000 other memorable products. Hitachi.
And now for something different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way. All right. Put that snap back in your life and always get something for nothing when you call Domino's.
No, you haven't seen this before. Introducing the tough new chip-resistant finish on the '94 Chevy S-Series. So new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
Oklahoma gets the crowd fired up with a 76-yard drive. Took them only 3 plays. James Kidd back to receive Blanton's kick. It's a 10-point game with 28 seconds remaining in the third. And James Kidd is not getting much airtime today. And Blanton is booting him out of there on every shot. Well, tomorrow night here on ABC, it's America's Funniest Hour starting at 6 Central. And then let's see if Superman has met his match on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. And then fall in love all over again. Julia Roberts and Richard Gere star in Pretty Women. Pretty Woman is the Sunday night movie tomorrow night here on ABC. And she is a pretty woman.
There's nothing better as a defensive player to come back out in the field after your offense has just come back with a big score. This is when you're most excited right here.
Lamont Warren getting a block on Beavers. A penalty flag is down, however, as Warren punches it out for about 4.
There's another Sooner down, Steve.
Mario Freeman made the tackle. But it looks like Darius Johnson, number 42, who's shaken up. The penalty is against Colorado. And Darius Johnson has a dead arm. Boy, sometimes you'll take a smack on that shoulder or elbow and your arm will just go.
Yeah, it's called a burner.
Just like you've had electric shock.
Chuck Cecil put a hit on somebody one year. We were playing the Bears, and he gets up and he says, "Hey, Ron, is my arm still there?"
You can't feel it. You know, you can feel it, but you can't feel it. Holding against Colorado. That negates Lamont Warren's run and moves the ball back to the 10. And now the crowd will really get behind that Sooner defense. because it'll be first down and 20. The time remaining is in the third quarter.
Now look at the crowd. The fans are in the game now, I think, for the first time.
Yep. Colorado started strong and took command of the game early. They went on 3 long first-half drives to lead 20-3 at halftime.
Colorado's not stupid. Hey, let the clock run. It's to their advantage.
They're going to let it run out, and they do. It's 20-10. Colorado over Oklahoma will return with more action between the Buffs and the Sooners after this message and a word from our local ABC station.
You know your NyQuil works. What'd you do? You tried the latest thing, so you coughed all night. Got no rest. Ended up a zombie. And your proposal to the world's most demanding boss? Postponed until tomorrow, which means you can take NyQuil tonight. You're stupid, Dave, but lucky.
Vicks NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine. Also new NyQuil hot therapy.
It seems these days folks are taking a new look at their priorities. With that in mind, Chevy brings you the roomiest full-size pickup ever made. So that family can come first. And work second. The extended cab from Chevrolet. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Tuesday, Kelly takes on a crooked cop. This is no good. Will the guys on the force turn against him?
Got a problem with that. You can see me in the parking lot.
NYPD Blue Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey, isn't that a Monterey Ranch chicken sandwich?
Yeah, we just brought it back.
Hey, isn't that your wife?
Where?
Ooh, could that dress get any tighter?
It's back. Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
Hey, isn't that Haley's comment?
Creamy ranch dressing with real bacon and Monterey Jack cheese on a whole breast fillet. What a combination.
What's my wife doing here?
Where?
Two can play this game.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich. You better buy 2.
It's Customer Appreciation Days at Peerless Tire Company, and we're giving away free color TV. Winter weather demands the most from a tire, and state-of-the-art Dean all-season metric radials can handle it. They're performance speed-rated with superior handling, and they start at only $27.99 with free mounting. And before those sub-zero nights ahead leave you out in the cold, pick up a new American battery. Get started right for as low as $39.99. Customer Appreciation Days going on now at Peerless Tire Company. See your white pages for a location near you.
Coming Together for Kids, Sunday at 5:30 on 9 News.
Welcome back to Norman, where it could be a very interesting final 15 minutes. It's also pretty interesting right now with Tennessee leading Alabama 17-9. That game in the fourth quarter, a 73-yard touchdown run in that game for Garner. Tennessee giving Bama, with that terrific defense, all they could want. Right here, first and 20. Colorado, as we start the fourth quarter with the Buffs leading by 10, but the Sooners have the momentum. Did he make the catch? Apparently so. No. One official said yes, the other said no, and CJ comes up empty. Darius Johnson still in the game, even though he was shaken up. Had the coverage on Charles Johnson. It'll be second and 20.
If anybody could make this catch clean, Steve, this man right here could. And I don't know. That looks like a catch to me. And Johnson's not the kind of guy. Look at Stewart. It's a catch. I call it a catch.
Looked good to me.
I call it a catch.
One official was marking the spot, but another one waved it off. Colorado still at their own 10. Stewart on a quarterback draw. Picking his way for good yardage out to the 25. Let's go to New York and check in again with John Saunders.
Steve, Alabama's outstanding defense has given up 356 yards to Tennessee's offense, including 73 here by Charlie Garner, and this one to the end zone for a touchdown. Tennessee trying to knock them off. 17-9 is the lead. Steve.
Thank you, John. Heck of a ball game there, and a big one for both teams and the SEC. And this is a big one for both teams in the Big 8. Colorado facing now 3rd down and about 4.5 to be more precise. They need to get across the 30. Lamont Warren has the first down.
Boy, that was an excellent block by Fourier on Beavers, and you know what? Beavers is upset about it. It was a classic drive block on a potential All-American, and that is what got the first down. Beavers 56 at the bottom right here. Watch this. Fourier's locked up on him man-to-man. You can't see it there, but he's going to get mad. He's going to turn around and take a swing at Fourier. He is the force guy. He's the linebacker that makes all those hits right there, and he was out of the picture.
Fourier, number 86, driving him right off the screen as well as out of the play. 1st and 10 Colorado at their own 32. Stewart in and out of the hands of Charles Johnson. Again, Darius Johnson with the coverage, and CJ is shaken up.
Boy, he looks like he's in some pain, too. He runs that little comeback that they've been running a lot today, Steve. The ball is underthrown. The corner comes over the top.
Ooh, baby. Got his neck twisted. And Darius Johnson got up immediately to make sure that Charles Johnson was all right. I wonder if the ball hit him in the finger.
You know, it's hard to say. Just like right here, he's got to go down low for the ball.
Ooh, boy, it could have come off that thumb or finger. It looks like it might have been
look
the
at his
right
look
hand.
at his head. He's not even watching the football, and that's not characteristic of somebody like Johnson.
That didn't help either. Look at, he is kind of holding his left hand gingerly. You could see it more, of course, in slow motion.
But they've got him on his back, though, Steve.
Yeah.
It's hard to say exactly what the problem is when you're up here looking at it. It could be anything.
Well, we've had a lot of guys banged up today. And it is his hand. Ball hits off his hand, and he's looking at it right there when Darius grabs his helmet. Now he's going to look at it again. He may have dislocated a finger.
He may have dislocated a finger. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Or the thumb.
Yeah. And I've done that before, and the shock when you see that finger out of place, something else.
Well, they're headed right to the locker room with him, which means also that it could be broken.
Well, that also means that now Westbrook, who's the man that they have not thrown to much today and in the last few games, he's got to get back into the picture.
Well, we'll try to get a report from the Colorado locker room on exactly what the extent and nature of the injury to Charles Johnson might be. But right now, it's 2nd down and 10, Colorado. James Kidd, number 2, is into the game at wideout, replacing Charles Johnson. Stewart has lots of time, and now he's going to run. First down. Finally dragged out of bounds on the far sideline by Malin Wesley. And Kordell Stewart came very close to breaking it all the way.
Here's a play that breaks down basically perfect coverage in the secondary of Oklahoma. He's going to take a sack as it appears first of all, but then he takes off and runs with the football. And now you think, okay, he can only get a few yards. Freeman's going to hit him. DeQuasy's going to hit him. All of a sudden, Steve, he's getting ready to go down the sidelines for the big one. And if Wesley doesn't get a shirt load,
he's gone.
It's over.
Well, we have a report from the locker room already. Charles Johnson, unfortunately, has a compound fracture of his ring finger. A very serious break, apparently, to the left ring finger of Charles Johnson. 1st and 10, Colorado. Lamont Warren, nowhere to go. Beavers is there, along with Ricky Rem.
Beavers, for the first time today, gets the penetration. He's the guy, the blitzer we talked about. They like to bring it off the corner. Watch the tight end real good. Throws off a block here and makes the tackle. That's why this guy's going to be an All-American, I think, and a first-rounder.
Beavers has been pretty much contained to this point.
Yeah, and that's the guy they got to keep contained, too, and keep him quiet, because he'll wreck your whole offensive plan.
Well, let's go back, Coach, to your blackboard presentation at the beginning of the game. That's what you pointed out. Those two tight ends make it tough. Stewart control, and James Kidd fell down, and Darius Johnson almost had one that he could have taken about 65 yards the opposite direction.
It's that close to 20-17. Just a little out. He doesn't have his feet underneath him all the way, and look at Darius Johnson. What does he see? Oh.
I'll tell you what, they have to do something about this turf. It is in sad shape.
It's ridiculous.
And that's without the Sooner schooner tearing it up when it flipped over toward the end of the first half. This turf is worn out completely.
We're how many miles up, I don't know, but we can still see seams in the field from here.
There's a big one right there where the line of scrimmage happens to be. On top of that, there's just no nap to it. Lamont Warren trying to cut back. He's hammered. Darius Johnson, with big run support, knocks him down at the 40.
Earlier, I talked about the corners not being able to give a lot of perimeter help because they're being blocked by the wideouts. Beavers got handled on the line of scrimmage by a tight end. Darius comes up and makes a great one-on-one tackle.
You see UCLA leading Washington in the Pac-10 today. That'll make Mr. Pitts happy.
Oh, just a little bit. I like to see those guys out there in that blue, gold, do good.
Well, I got a feeling, as with this game, that game may not be over yet. Mitch Berger on to punt, and Darius Johnson back to receive, standing about his 10. We're under 12 minutes to play. And Berger with another terrible kick off the side of his foot. But he gets a pretty good roll, however. It'll go out at the 19.
What is happening to Mitch Berger?
Turned out a lot better than it could have, as he just missed it for the second time.
In this area, they're going to try to punt the ball, which means they're going to just touch it real light to get it to roll somewhere in the 5 or 10 yard line. But, you know, he got a little bit too light.
Well,
you can see by his reaction, he is not happy about that.
He got a heck of a roll out of it, however. But the Sooners, down by 10, have the ball back with 11:46 to play.
What a day for a baby.
A new look, impossible to resist. The rush of a powerful V6 engine, superb control and handling, even the safety of driver and passenger airbags. This stuff of dreams? Not anymore.
Like it?
Loved it. The new Grand Prix Sport Coupe.
Will we claim the new Norelco razor shaves closer than ever without hundreds of tests to back it up? Say our new precision groove helps the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer without proof? No. We wouldn't say it's our closest shave ever without science, sensors, tests. But of all the tests that prove it's closer, the most convincing requires a personal touch. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
Elvira here, Mistress of the Dark and sometimes Surfer Babe, because Coors Light is the official beer of Halloween, and the party's at the beach, Malibu Beach, where you can hang ten. Look, Frankie and Annette. And of course, when it's time to chill, just reach for that cooler of Coors Light. Aged, ice cold, never frozen stiff. It's the right beer now for Halloween. Just look for the Silver Bullet Smooth display and dig up your friends now for a party at the beach. Happy Halloween, dude.
Four of the world's finest golfers travel coast to coast in an unprecedented round of golf. Coverage of the Chrysler American Great 18 begins tomorrow on ABC.
Some of the Sooner faithful have left Memorial Stadium in Owen Field, but those that remain are now into it big time as the Sooners go 1st and 10 from their own 19. Gundy going to run it. He's got some room. He has a block. Out to the 47, and he may be shaken up. Sam Rogers, number 90, finally drags him down, and Gundy is still motionless.
This is the worst nightmare right now for Gibbs possibly coming true.
And I'll tell you one thing, we got a Colorado player who got leveled on a downfield block, Dwayne Davis. As one of the Oklahoma players cut back.
We've talked about that turf a lot, Steve. Rogers comes over, makes the hit. Gundy goes down. It looks like he might have fallen on the football. The thing that scares me about that is that he has not moved.
He may have had the wind knocked out of him. Dwayne Davis for Colorado is up and walking around now. He was cracked back on head with a terrific block for Gundy.
Watch the hit that Warren puts on Hill. We may not be able to see it. Looks like the football to me, Steve. It's hard to say.
Well, remember, Gundy played the Texas game with a stretched hip muscle. Now let's go back and look at this hit.
This is what you call
Dwayne Davis.
Blindsided.
Oh. Corey Warren with a big-time block.
That's the kind of hits where you need an airbag in your helmet.
Yeah, Dwayne Davis saying, where am I? Gundy, unfortunately, however, still down. Terrence Brown, number 3, the backup quarterback, redshirt freshman from Fort Bend, Texas, who's hardly taken any snaps, starting to warm up.
And the word on Brown this year thus far is that they feel like initially in the beginning of the season he had some improvement, but he's kind of tailed off. He's regressed a little bit.
Well, we'll check it out and get the word for you on Cale Gundy, who remains down, when we return.
At Compaq, we realized that buying a computer raises a lot of questions. So we came up with the answer, Compaq Presario. Powerful computers that come preloaded with software that can correct your spelling or balance your checkbook. In fact, the Compaq Presario can even answer your computing questions. Oh, and if you happen to have a phone, it can answer that too.
Hi, we can't answer the computer right now. Please leave a message.
The new Presario from Compaq.
Far from Bourbon Street, in its own little corner of the Garden District, is the most fabled house in New Orleans, the Maple Street Children's Bookshop, where the folks who write the books also read them. So if you go, bring your wildest imagination and your Visa card, because at Maple Street, they'll take you on a truly magical journey, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Pontiac believes safety is so important to the modern high-performance sports car. We've equipped all our new Firebirds with standard driver and passenger airbags, standard anti-lock brakes, and safety cage construction, a combination of safety technologies rare on any sports car at any price, let alone one starting at under $14,000. Introducing the all-new Firebird.
Watch what happens to Gundy's head as he hits the ground. Rogers, the defensive lineman, pins his right arm, no support. Blam.
And that turf is so hard.
It's so hard down there.
And apparently Cale Gundy has suffered a head injury. He appeared to be unconscious. He did not move from the time he was tackled. They have brought the stretcher out. They are, of course, taking no chances, regardless of how severe the injury may turn out to be, and we certainly hope it is not that serious. And there is Terrence Brown, of whom we spoke earlier, who is brand spanking new. He redshirted last year. He's a redshirt freshman this year. And as you see, he'll be taking his first collegiate varsity snap.
There is nothing like being a backup in this situation with Cale Gundy, who is everything here. You know, in the beginning of the game, you don't think you're ever going to have to play. But, boy, there's nothing like being a backup and having to play in a situation like this.
Well, the other thing you have to think about, and obviously we're still hoping that all of this is precautionary and not really required by the serious nature that may be Gundy's injury. You have to wonder how the rest of the Sooners are going to react. Here's their leader. Here's the guy that's quarterbacked them for 4 years now. Here's the guy that in this situation right now in the game this afternoon they're looking to. to bring him back, as he did on that run. They've got 11.5 minutes. They're down by 10. If he's taken out of this game, is the heart taken out of Oklahoma?
Well, let me give you an example. Okay, in 80 and 90, up in Green Bay, when Mikowski got hurt out in Phoenix, that week on, it was like a morgue around our training camp. I mean, it was unbelievable. The morale, you know, you always say the positive things on TV. Oh, well, we'll rally. Oh, we have this as far as depth, and we'll do this. But you know what? That man's your heart right there. That's the heart of the football team. That is what's making this team go up and down. Yes, there are players along with him that do an excellent job, and there are All-Americans and all Big A players, etc. But the quarterback right now for Oklahoma, he makes it go.
The other reaction, of course, could be that the Sooners get fired up and realize that everybody's got to pick up the slack a little bit more individually than they might otherwise, and they rise to the occasion. And it'll be interesting to see, of course, how Terrence Brown can perform in a very unfortunate situation.
And isn't this exactly how superstars are made? Young freshman coming in, nobody knows a lot about him. Don't be surprised if Brown gets in and does an excellent job.
Teammates coming over to pump him up, get him going. Football is a violent endeavor, and injuries are part of the game. And how teams deal with that adversity is a large measure, as Woolfolk and Clavel and others, Rogers coming over to wish Gundy well, see how he is. But how teams deal with the inevitable negatives created by injury problems is in large measure directly proportional to their success. Here, however, there could be no worse injury as far as the Sooners are concerned, as this man does represent the heart and soul of Oklahoma's football team.
You know, during practice as a backup, the coaches are always nagging you. Hey, get in there, take some snaps, get ready, learn this, know it as well as the starters. And week after week, it never comes to fruition that you have to get in and play. But that's an example right there. You have to know everything that the starter knows, even if you are a backup, because you never know when your time's going to come.
A lot of support being shown for Terrence Brown, who takes over with Oklahoma having a first down at their own 47. 11.5 minutes remaining, and the Sooners down by 10. James Allen on that reverse option, but Woolfolk won't have any of it. We have a penalty flag down, however, thrown at the line of scrimmage.
Woolfolk actually got cut and then got back up and made the play. He was out of the picture.
Holding against the Sooners. And earlier we showed you a graphic over Terrence Brown that he had never taken a snap in college ball. Well, he actually has. He has never thrown a pass in college football. He has taken some snaps. He has run the ball a couple of times, but he has never thrown a pass in a college game. They will refuse the penalty as James Allen was stopped by Woolfolk on the loss.
And now this creates a challenge for Watson Brown, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. He's got to say, okay, this is not Gundy, this is Brown. What can he do good? Instead of saying, well, you know, he's negative, this is what he doesn't do well. What does he do good? And let me use those talents.
We have a preliminary report on Cale Gundy. He's being airlifted by helicopter to a hospital for precautionary x-rays. He has a concussion, but he was conscious as they took him off the field. So all of that is good news, considering what could have happened. Almost picked off by Sam Rogers on Terrence Brown's first college pass. He threw it right into a crowd of white shirts, and there may have been a breakdown on the play.
He makes the right decision because the pressure comes fast from the right side from Woolfolk. But the only problem is he's got to know when he looks, hey, if it's not there, pull it down, man, and run with it. Don't force it.
James Allen was covered, I mean literally, by Sam Rogers. It's third down and 18 inside the Oklahoma 40. Good protection for Brown. Tipped and incomplete. Albert Hall tried to come back and get it as it was originally intended for Ricky Brady. It appeared to be tipped by John Knutson, number 36 in at linebacker.
It's amazing how quiet it's gotten around here for obvious reasons. But, boy, people are just on the edge of their seat and waiting and wondering, what is Terrence Brown going to do?
Scott Blanton on to punt on 4th and 18. Chris Hudson back deep around his own 20 for Colorado. Very high, very short kick. And it's exacerbated by the fact that it's into the wind and it goes out of bounds at the Colorado 43. Only an 18-yard kick by Blanton, and whatever was ailing Mitch Berger must be catching.
Yeah, that stuff is contagious, you know. You watch that go on the other side of the ball, and it carries over.
Next Saturday here on ABC Sports, you'll see exciting regional coverage again, and most of you will see the Fighting Illini battle Big Ten rival Michigan. Number 2 Alabama rolls into Mississippi. The Tide hooking up with Tennessee today. Other regional action, including Fresno State and BYU, next Saturday here on ABC. Hard running on first down for a gain of about 6. Let's check in with John Saunders again.
Washington and UCLA. Wayne Cook going 6 yards to J.J. Stokes. 4th time they hook up on the day. That ties Sean LaChapelle's record, 32-18. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Well, those Bruins looking good there, alum.
Might be in a Rose Bowl year. You never know.
Charles Johnson is back in the game for Colorado, and that certainly is a good sign. Kordell Stewart with a good fake and play action. Incomplete, intended for Christian Fourier, and he was hammered by Malin Wesley and Paul Oates. And there's TJ. He appears to be okay.
You've got to be kidding me.
Look at, he's got that hand.
A compound fracture. He said, hey, tape it up. Let me get back out there. Remember the adversity we talked about earlier that this young man's been through? Well, it carries over onto the football field, obviously, because he knows adversity well and he knows how to get through it.
I'll tell you one thing. He's made some pretty good one-handed receptions before. He may make another one today.
Sure may.
10 minutes to go in the game. Colorado with a 10-point lead. 3rd down and 5. Hill, first down. Still running, and Beavers finally knocks him down at the 40 of Oklahoma. James Hill doesn't get much time anymore, but the injury today to Rashaan Salam has gotten him in the game with this one-back set. Hill used to be the fullback.
You take what they give you. Nothing's downfield. Go to the outlet. Smart move by Stewart. And now it's just a matter of who can make the tackle first. Beavers comes by here and puts a shot on him. Boy, that's what you call getting rocked right there.
He tackled him twice. Hit him once, hit him twice. Colorado first down, Oklahoma 40. Lamont Warren. Good hole. Excellent downfield blocking by Michael Westbrook and Charles Johnson. Larry Bush, the free safety, had to make the tackle. It's another Colorado first down.
Seems like every time I look out here, there's a linebacker on the ground. That time DeQuasie got cut. Opens up the seam there.
First and 10 at the Oklahoma 28. Lamont Warren could get a 200-yard day rushing. He's up to about 180 now. And he's going nowhere this time. Ricky Wren right there along with Mike Coates, who stuffed his blocker to plug up the hole.
You see Colorado keeping the ball on the ground now as much as possible. See, with the 2 tight ends, they'll get a hat on everybody. That time they miss Wren. He comes on the outside of West and makes a good tackle. Wren filling in now for Russell Allen, down with a knee injury.
Ran at 270, a senior from Clovis, New Mexico. No gain. 2nd and 10 under pressure. Stewart gets it away, complete to Westbrook.
Boy, did you see the way Stewart backpedaled away from the pressure and threw the football?
That's some quick feet.
That takes a lot of guts to do that.
It's a gain of about 8 to the Oklahoma 20. Clock running with 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the game. 3rd and 2 for Colorado.
I'm impressed with Kordell Stewart's poise back there as a quarterback. Doesn't get a lot of attention and that kind of thing as far as being a pure passing quarterback, but he is very poised and very confident.
Lamont Warren out of the I formation, going nowhere. Mike Coates got an ankle and wouldn't let go.
See, what's bad is down by this part of the field, the red area or the green area for the offense, they like to do a lot of blitzing, Oklahoma does, with an inside linebacker, Coates and Freeman. But the problem is that they blitz with this two tight end offense and they miss. There's going to be holes in there you won't believe.
Well, Coates trying to prevent Lamont Warren from falling forward for a first down. May not have been able to do so. It is a first down on Warren's extra effort. The ball at the Sooners 18. Colorado leading 20-10 with 7:47 to go in the game.
You'll see Stewart now use up all the clock. He'll try to work as slow as he can, effectively as he can.
Lamont Warren with 179 yards rushing. Hill. James Hill down to the 14. Covered there by Paul Oates, 55.
See, that time they just pushed the whole left side of Oklahoma's defensive line down the hill. They actually start those running plays off in this offense one way and then cut it back purposely for that kind of effect.
Second down, 6. James Hill again, and John Anderson can't bring him down. Finally, Brent DeQuazy gets him at the 10 with help from Ricky Wren, 92. Anderson had him at about the line of scrimmage, and he ran right out of his grasp.
It's just good power, good running by Hill, keeping your feet moving at all times. You know, linebackers and running backs, they all work against the big stuff, the hard stuff in the weight room and everything. They love to see you try to take them on up top. My philosophy was get them down low, stop the source.
Cut those feet out from
those feet going.
Yeah. Third down and 2. Colorado on a relentless drive on the ground. Lamont Warren close to a first down, and it's going to be close. David Campbell, 59, made the tackle.
You know, this goes back to what we talked about at the top of the game. Colorado had to establish the running game, and they have done that. They did it in the first quarter, actually, and just kept it going.
And they are using it right here to just chew minutes off the clock. Oklahoma needs 2 scores. They're without Cale Gundy, down by 10, and now there's 6:06 remaining as the clock stops for the measurement.
And they've gotten the big plays they've needed.
John Lurie shows us how much is remaining. Tough day for Gary Gibbs. Not only because his team is down by 10, but with the injuries. Here's what the top 10 has done, is doing, and in Miami's case, isn't doing, as they are idle today. Colorado leading by 10. Less than 6 minutes to play. Goes for it on 4th and 1. The ball inside the Oklahoma 10.
Can't try a hard count.
They're trying it. Kordell Stewart diving forward. No flags on the play, even though there was some movement. Kordell Stewart has the first down.
Steve, that little jump he got on the right side of Oklahoma's line was just enough to get that first down. They were out of position after they jumped, and he just rolled over. It wasn't, you know, a real big leap or anything like that. He didn't run anybody over. He just kind of rolled over.
Colorado maintaining control. The rushing yards by half, almost exactly the same, really, for both teams, and that's bad news for Oklahoma. But what balance shown again by Colorado. Inside the 5 to about the 4 goes Lamont Warren. Stopped by Mario Freeman, 44. And they just keep hammering.
Colorado backs take very few hits before the line of scrimmage, if you'll notice. That's because there's nobody left to come through and hit him. There's either a tight end on him or a big tackle or somebody.
Well, this double tight end offense that you outlined on the blackboard in the opening of the telecast really has worked for Colorado today. They have been able to run the ball either way with pretty good effectiveness at all times. They've gone over 300 yards rushing against what had been a very good defense. James Hill, did he make it in? Yes, touchdown, Colorado.
If you're a Sooner fan, the sad thing about all this is that Oklahoma is a second quarter and fourth quarter football team. That's where they score most of their points. So now they got to be saying to themselves, well, I don't know, guys.
The extra point to come from Mitch Berger, as Colorado may have just put it away. It's 27-10. Bill McCartney's Buffaloes are going to do it again, apparently. At 4 minutes, 35 seconds left in the game.
Hold on. I don't just overnight the package.
Yeah, sure. Overnight it. Might as well overnight it.
Overnight this.
Overnight that. Overnight.
Overnight.
Sometimes overnight is overkill. So kick the habit with priority mail from the Postal Service. It's not overnight, but it's fast delivery, special handling, and 2 pounds is only $2.90.
Morning. Thanks.
When overnight is overdoing it, remember, we deliver for you. Call and we'll start today.
Meet Greg and Nancy Wagner. They love to cut loose.
Hey, come on.
Obviously, they got themselves a hot, fun-to-drive car.
We got a Pontiac Grand Am.
Exactly. A powerful new V6, sports suspension, a real blast.
Hey, the Grand Am also makes a lot of sense. Solid, got an airbag and anti-lock brakes standard.
Lots of room for the family.
For thousands less than a quarter Camry.
So that fun Grand Am was also the smart car to buy? Can you beat that?
Nope.
We are driving excitement, Pontiac.
Start saving $300 a month when you're 23, and you could retire a millionaire. Start at 30, and you might reach 600,000. At 40, about 200,000. Which is why you need Prudential's Financial Assessment Program. A personalized computer analysis of where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help. Because nobody plans to fail. They just failed to plan. Call Prudential Insurance now.
With Nebraska winning today, the Cornhuskers 2-0. So in this game, now with Colorado out in front by 17 late, it looks like the Buffaloes will go 2-0, and they will be the only 2 undefeated teams in the Big 8. Oklahoma will fall to 1-1, and here's what they're playing for. The champion, of course, going to the Orange Bowl. And if there's a tie, incidentally, the Orange Bowl will choose which of the tied teams goes. Second place in the Big 8, the Bowl Coalition decides where they go. Third place goes to the Jeep Eagle Aloha Bowl here on ABC in December, Christmas Day, and then fourth place to the Copper Bowl. So the one that really counts for everybody at this point in the season is Miami and the Orange Bowl. Colorado may be staking their claim along with Nebraska. Berger will kick off. P.J. Mills and Darius Johnson, as usual, are back. They haven't had any chance yet in this game, and they will not have a chance here again.
Well, Berger finally got one up in the air.
Florida State leading Virginia, and Tennessee with 2:50 to play, still leading Alabama. Auburn with a huge win over Florida. Michigan beating Penn State, first ever meeting at our game earlier here on ABC. And UCLA also on ABC this afternoon, big over Washington in the fourth quarter. A&M rolling on in that Southwest Conference, and Wisconsin still doing it in the Big Ten. Having a good year. Look at Washington State over Cal at halftime. First and 10, Terrence Brown out of the shotgun, completes it to Ricky Brady. Brady with a first down and manages to get out of bounds just across the 30 in the grasp of Dwayne Davis and Dalton Simmons.
As you can see, Brown throws a nice ball, nice tight spiral to the out. Good decision there by Brown. Go to the man who's been most productive for you right now so far in the season as a receiver, and that's Ricky Brady.
And again, the injury to Cale Gundy, a concussion. He did regain consciousness. They are x-raying him for precautionary measures. Brown completes it to Brady again. Brady trying to get some yardage, but also wants to get out of bounds and does. He's at the 37. Dwayne Davis again bumps him out. Close but short of a first down. And a reminder, if time permits, be sure to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report, featuring scores and highlights from all across the country. A big day in college football. A lot of rivalry games, a lot of conference implications, and interesting outcomes. And a few outcomes yet to be decided, both this afternoon and with games tonight. Brown incomplete. Intended for James Allen. John Knutson, the linebacker, had coverage on Allen. 4:05 remaining on the clock.
Colorado will most likely be patient. Give the youngster a lot of zones to look at. Put the pressure on him. Make him make the mistake. Doubt seriously if they'll be in any man formation or anything like that, even though in that one they were.
You know, it's amazing. Oklahoma looked a little flat in the first half, and it's that week after Texas again. Brown dropped by big number 90 Sam Rogers coming on the blitz.
Every year, I don't know what it is, after the Texas game, there's always Colorado, and it's the same letdown.
Gary Gibbs and Cale Gundy beating Texas last week for the first time. Looking to beat Colorado for the first time, even though they tied last year. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing, that guy right there and his coaching staff have done a tremendous job here at Oklahoma getting this program back on track under very difficult circumstances. Chris Hudson breaks by the first defender. He has a wall.
Land's going to get him.
Bumped out of bounds inside the 10. Hudson with a very smart play and an excellent first move. Corey Warren, the only guy that prevented him from going into the end zone.
Yeah, that's like the dagger in the back right there, boy. I tell you, you know, we talked about the top of the game, what OU had to do to be successful. One thing was maintaining a balance on offense. They got to that late, but another one was stopping the big play. And this is on special teams. That's still a part of the game.
That was the snapper, Clayne Lacrosse, who overran the play a bit. A 34-yard punt, but a 50-yard return.
Big plays will kill you. Ask Alabama.
Well, Colorado's had a few big plays today, and there was another one. 1st and 10. James Hill. Beavers grabs a hold. Oates comes to help him. But Hill inside the 10.
And it's interesting, turnovers, which was the third thing for both teams that they both had to avoid, has really not been a factor today.
No.
And then which stands because Oklahoma, they're +2 in the giveaway takeaway, which rates them 3rd in the nation. And Colorado, they're +1.8 to be exact. That rates them 5th. So both these teams do not give up the football.
And we haven't had an inordinate number of penalties today either. But Colorado has controlled the game. James Hill again trying to cut back, slipping, and banging down to about the 3. Are they going to say his knee was down? They are. Referee John Laurie is going to say that he slipped down at the 10. So he'll actually lose yardage on the play.
This is the hardest situation to play football when you're on the losing end of this deal. Once again, the turf here at Norman. He slips here, but the bad part about this from a defensive standpoint is that he still gets up and has time to get 5-6 more yards. That one will not look good on Monday morning in film.
James Hill banging for that goal line again. And is he in? We haven't seen a signal. I don't think so.
And to make it worse, they got a first down now. We talked earlier about Colorado being very, very good inside the red area. from the +20 going in to the goal line. And they have been excellent today.
First down and goal inside the 1. Colorado just trying to put a little exclamation point on it, but Hill's not going to go anywhere. Fine penetration by the Oklahoma defense. All he could do was run into the pile because they would not be moved that time.
You know, I don't care what form of football it is, high school, pro, little league, 2 tight end situations have always given me problems. Washington did it for a long time. Buffalo 3 years ago did it when they went to the Super Bowl and kept Thurman back there and ran the football all over the place. It's the problem.
I'll tell you what, it's worked for Colorado today. Right from their opening possession, they've been able to move the ball and move it well. James Hill again. He will not get outside. John Anderson with a fine play coming up to cut him off and make the tackle. And the players come out on the field. They will let the clock run out, and that will do it. Colorado does it to Oklahoma again. Bill McCartney has now become the winningest coach in Colorado history with his 78th victory. His Big 8 record over the last 5 years, 26-1-2. Colorado and Nebraska, the only undefeated teams remaining in Big 8 conference play. We'll be back.